Good evening, good evening, good evening. Get out, DeMarkey. You bad juju. Um, Welcome to the Den, man. I'm glad that you could join me this evening. I'm your host, Ed Honcho. If you're not familiar with the Den is the best conversation on the internet, and the reason why that is because people must be heard. If you're new to this, I guess to describe the Den is not only a chat, it's a live call in show for those of you who don't know that, but I think most of you do. And I apologize for being absent for a little bit, but we're going to get into a good conversation this evening, and we're going to talk about some things. We're going to talk about everything is racist. Okay. Let's see who we have joining us this evening, and then we're going to get into some good conversation. And then we're going to talk about a lot, man. There's a lot to talk about. A lot of things have happened over the last couple of days. I want to get into it. Some good, some bad, some stupid. A lot of it's stupid. Shonda, what's the motherfucking deal? Coltrid, always good to see my man Coltrid. Coltrid, what's the motherfucking deal? Sweetberry, Sweetberry, I honestly, genuinely did not mean to skip you on the pistachio. I literally did not see you in there. Usually it's deliberate, but today it was not. And since I did not intend to deliberately skip you, I'll be swift with your delivery of pistachios. Only one live, what's the motherfucking deal? Rashida, Miss Bell, what's the motherfucking deal? Let's see. INF Storms, what's the motherfucking deal? What's INF stand for? Like infinite? I'm guessing. I don't know. I always try to figure like little, when I see things, I don't know, like I try to figure out little weird stuff. Like, I have no idea, and I'm probably wrong most of the time, but I just question little stuff like that in my mind. I'm just always wondering what names and things mean and where they come from. If a white man has two apples and he walks by two starving men, a black and a white, and he gives the apples to the white guy, is he racist? Does racism come down to apples? Well, it depends on the apple, honestly. Is it Red Delicious? Is it a Granny Smith? Is it a Gala apple? Is it a Fiji apple? Once we can determine what type of apple it is, then we can determine the level of racism that took place in the exchange. Be for real, brother. What's the motherfucking deal? So, Lisa, what's the motherfucking deal? Let's see. Ronald Isley, what's the motherfucking deal? Debo, what's the motherfucking deal? Let's see. Danny. I keep forgetting. Was it Danny? Or who was the other name? Damn it. Dominic or Danny? Who? I don't know if any of the quintuple OGs are in here this evening. But I'm trying to remember who was the first mod. It was either Danny or Dominic. I think it might have been Danny. Who had the chickens? One of y'all had some chickens. Let's see. For Infinite. All right, cool. Cool beans. Now I feel special. DeMarkey is in the building. And yeah, it was gonna happen. That's why I stopped watching it. After the Rendon, like they should have never pulled Grinky. Like Grinky would allow 2 hits. Why would you pull him? After a while, I think it was a bad move by Hinch. So that's a whole different conversation. This is not sauce anything. So don't even want to get into that. I'm kind of upset that I spent a significant amount of time. Let me make me cover that up. Watching it, but hey, it was worth watching. You get there. Sometimes you fall short, right? It's still time for something amazing to happen, right? So, some of the things that have taken place, some of the things that have gone on the last few days, right? Very upset. And let me get this. Let me say this appropriately, right? I don't want to say I'm upset. It's unfortunate, and I feel bad for the family. But I think once people have lived a quality life, once you reach up in age, I don't feel as like remorseful. I'm like, oh, that's it's so sad. If you lived a good life, it is good. It is fortunate for you to get up to 70 plus years of age, right? So it's probably the wind blowing outside, maybe the tree by the window or something like that. I don't know. But so I don't want to say it was sad. I think he had a very eventful, a very wonderful life. Shout out to or R.I.P. to John Witherspoon. I don't think there'll be another Friday after that. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's that. But I wonder, am I the only person who thinks like that? Because usually when somebody's like really really old, like who was it? Who was the old singer that died recently? I forgot. I don't want to kill off the wrong one, but you know, you've lived a long time. You've had a very good life, so I don't look at it as being sad. Like people just lose it. Like now, if somebody's a younger person and they kind of clock out, I think that's sad. That's unfortunate. But if you've lived a life, I mean, eventually that time comes. We all got to deal with it. There's no escaping it. So I mean, you celebrate their life. I don't think you sit there and just be sad and devastated. I mean, it's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? I think once you get over the retirement age, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, once you get over the retirement age, I mean, I think whatever happens after that, because, what they say, most people die within, I forgot how long after, because the people who don't do anything with themselves, like, because they're so used to work and everything like that. So when it comes to retirement age, a lot of people clock out. But I believe, yeah, if you hit 70, what's up, Crass? What's the motherfucking deal? I think, and Shannon, well, you're here. I think once you hit the age of 70, everything you get over that is a bonus. You know what I mean? I mean, you have been very fortunate. Because I think you generally live longer than a lot of people do. So, there's that. And John Witherspoon did a lot of very entertaining things, in his career. So I think if you probably watched any black comedy movie, probably not in the last 5 years or so, you've seen some of John Witherspoon's influence. Excuse me. Another thing I want to get to. Excuse me. I'm getting the fucking burps and shit. So the reason why I want to talk about everything is racist. Maybe I should have said everything is prejudiced or whatever. So that way we could have brought everybody in this if I would have did everything is prejudiced. I wasn't thinking ahead, darn. Because I was thinking about the article Miss Grace posted in the Den Facebook group. That milk is racist. Right? Milk has become, math was racist the other day. We talked about math being racist. And now milk is racist. It's to a point where you have to be very careful. Okay? And we talk about pro-black, we talk about race, we talk about a lot of things in here, and I think people have different definitions of it, because just because a motherfucker says they're pro-black doesn't mean that they have your best interest in mind. Most people, again, like I say, I did a video a while back saying why I don't consider myself, I don't use the title pro-black, because I believe most of the people who are pushing and peddling that pro-black moniker are really snake oil salesmen, really trying to just hustle you, you know what I'm saying? And they're trying to keep you under this belief that everything is against you. They keep selling you all the negativity, all the stuff that is bad, to keep you feeling like, everything, the whole world, it's worse now than it ever was. But again, you have more access to information now. There's no one, no way, no how. I don't care if you show me a video every day of somebody getting knocked off by the cops. I don't care if you show me a video every day of some whole crackhead woman yelling nigger in the streets. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, this is the shit like motherfuckers out there trying to push. I saw a video the other day, man. I was out here getting my what's the fucking shit? What's the food delivery? Not Grubhub. What's the other one? Take your goddamn ass to the shit and pick it up yourselves. Postmates. I was out here to come meet the Postmates guy, man. And look, I can't believe it. Shaking my head. This woman started calling me a nigger. It's a fucking crazy old fucking crackhead lady. This white lady pushing a fucking basket. It's like 2 blocks down the street. She's a fucking dope fiend. And this motherfucker's posting this shit and people just really got issues. Like, who gives a... If the fucking dope fiend is upsetting you, your life is fucking miserable. Like, if you really, like, sit here and say, goddamn crackhead white lady and her white privilege and her white privilege basket with all her cans in it. I won't tolerate this. If that's causing you a problem, you got bigger issues. You know what I'm saying? Like, get the fuck out of here. But good. That's a good one. Only one. I think that definitely deserves some. That definitely deserves some pistachio love. But so all I'm saying is like, man, pick and choose your fucking battles. And when you're sitting here saying, you know what I'm saying? If you're sitting here complaining about privilege and all this other bullshit, man, I don't have time to really be concerned with any of that stuff, because there's a lot of people who are much more successful than the people you guys, I won't say you guys, I think the den is a different conversation. But there's a lot of people out there pointing, oh, this is privilege, this is privilege, this is privilege. But then we ignore a lot of the people who are black, Mexican, Hispanic, whatever you want to call them, who are doing pretty darn well for themselves also, right? Who have also come up from whatever you want to call privilege. And again, so it's just like, it's to the point where, and why I mentioned the whole pro-black thing is because when I see stories like this, that's why I continue to, I think I distance myself further and further. Like, I hear these things and it's just like, what the fuck, man? Like, how do you have time to make this a fucking thing? I want to shout out to Miss Veronica, and she shared a video, and I said I wanted to do a video on one. I've just, these last couple of days, my timing has been bad. It's partially my fault. I've been staying up late working on some things, and that has a bad carryover throughout my day. But I'm going to tighten up on all that. I keep saying I'm going to do it, but I really am. I've set some things in order. And it was like a noose thing, right? But it was a thing like it was a gallows, right? And it was a gallows, and somebody in St. Louis had put this on the street. And, you know, so the woman who went and recorded the video, she's talking about she lives 20, 25 minutes away, something like that. She's like, yeah, I had to drive 20-something minutes away to come see this because, you know, it was another picture of it and they took the picture down. And so I had to come up and I had to and she recorded a 20-minute video. I watched like maybe a minute and a half of it. Then it was just like, I'm done with it. And of this makeshift gallows that this person put in front of her, look at this noose. How do they even know how to tie it? It's not very hard to learn how to fucking tie a noose. Okay. So anyway, the fact that you go out of your way, hey Cartier, what's the motherfucking deal? Like you drive 20 minutes away to record something for 20 minutes. So you spend at least an hour on this thing. 20 minutes there, 20 minutes recording, and at least a 20-minute drive back. So an hour to record this video. It's a meaningless video in my opinion. Because, you know, this is racism and come on, man. Like, if you look at a gallows, it had the little dropout bottom and everything. You know what I think of when I see that shit? I think of like old cowboy movies and shit. That's the type of shit I think about. I think about like the old fucking, I think of like some old English type shit, but they used to do the guillotine. The first thing when I see a noose come to mind, especially in that point, from a tree, maybe might make me think differently. Okay, and I'm saying, all right, now we got something else. That might be more reflective of something racial, but there's nothing in the noose. It's Halloween time. You know how these things kind of go. Horror and torture and all that other stuff. But even then, I'm like, I guess like, but it's this trauma porn that we love so much. It's this oppression porn that we love so the first thing that we do is we see something and we associate a symbol, or we associate this thing with a symbol. And this is not to say that racist people haven't rolled around and do stuff, but in the form in which it was, the guillotine was French, all right, just like French fries. But in the form in which it was, like, it's fucking Halloween. I mean, they took the time to build the whole setup. Like, if it would have been just a fucking noose over a branch, like, something's going on here, maybe. But like I said, I just don't see that whole thing. Like, again, but she took a lot of time to do that because, you know, racism. But what I'm saying, though, is that now, there's no way you can tell me that now in 2019, basically 2020, we're like 2 months away, that America, this country, or people as a whole, are on the whole more racist than when at a time that motherfuckers used to really have a picnic and watch niggas get hung, right? You know what I'm saying? Like this is what I'm saying. Like, and I'm not gonna say oh, there's nothing, there's absolutely no racism, it's absolutely dead. But it to the extent of what it was compared then to now, the people who are bringing it up more than anybody are people who are like, I mean, I feel like they're reaching, and so I can't fucking get into it. Oh, I ain't never give you the fucking thing. I'm sitting here talking. I can't get into it because it's like, man, I'm not finna wake up. I'm not looking for this shit. I'm looking for successful story. I'm looking for, let me not say progressive, but I'm looking for progress. You know, I want to see some shit on the up and up. Hey, we can talk about some nigga in the hood who was selling dope, just didn't have no dope on him at that time. And I'm being facetious a little bit, but then I'm generalizing a little bit. But a lot of these stories are in that zone. And he got fucked over by the cops compared to some young black man at 6, 10, 11 started his own business and he's making a 6-figure business. What do you think I really give more of a fuck about? You know, I want to see exceptional. You know, and I hate, you know, let me tell y'all something. All right, black people, and I love y'all. I love my black folks. But if we don't stop with this dancing shit is black excellence, get over that shit. Black excellence is excellent things happening. And so, like I'm saying, about the little girl got the fucking lemonade business. There was another little chick who started like a water company and it got picked up by Walmart. And like, that's excellence. Going above and beyond and doing some shit. Dancing is entertainment, not excellence. If you don't like it, it is what it is. Bad and Bougie, what's the motherfucking deal? How are you doing this evening? Impaler, what's the motherfucking deal? Your pistachios didn't register? Let me see what happened. Let me see. Let me check. Let me check this pistachio audit real quick. Oh, no wonder I put it in backwards. That's why. But let me take a zero off that. That's a little bit much. Hold on. But my thing is this: like, come on, man. Let's stop with the bullshit. And I think if you start focusing more on what is real excellence, I think we set this bar low for ourselves. That's the racist thing in my opinion. I want to talk about the math. And the phrase that I've used in probably the last 3 or 4 dens now. The soft bigotry of low expectations. We put low expectations on ourselves more than anybody else. I don't want the handout. I don't want the lower bar for entry. I don't want any of those things. I want to beat you at your own fucking game. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to beat you at your own fucking game. You know what I mean? And that's my issue. It's like we want to make it easier. You can talk about historical advantages. You can talk about a lot of these things, but what I find funny is when we talk about certain things, you know, when we have anecdotes and straw man and all this other stuff that was coming up in the Donald Trump debate day, all that craziness. Look, whatever. But there were a lot of black people during these times when a lot of blacks were slaves, when a lot of blacks were going through a lot of, they were, let me rephrase the term a lot, but there were black people who were successful, who were not enslaved, who were free. We talk about, what was his name, Bass Reeves, right? We talk about Bass Reeves. And you know how he got free? He punched, or he beat up, I don't say punched or beat up or whatever, knocked him out. The guy who was basically his master, for lack of a better term. A lot of people did a lot of shit to get where they were. A lot of people took a lot of risks to get where they were. But we don't ever focus on those. We don't ever talk about those people. We want to talk about what happened to the rest of us. And you know who the rest of everybody else is? Those are people who are average, right? And I know, again, this is going to make some people upset, but I want to talk about the exceptionals. Why do we focus on average? Why don't we ever focus on the exceptional? How you doing, Miss Unspoken Voices? You know, Kenneth, go to bed. Don't you got school or something tomorrow? But like I say, so when it comes to this, like the math is racist thing, it's numbers. Numbers. How are numbers racist? I saw a little thing, and me and my old lady, it's super funny. We have a lot of debates about something. There's a topic, unless something crazy happens, there's a topic we're going to have tomorrow, and it may piss a lot of you off. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it was a conversation that me and my old lady was having, and so I think it'll be pretty interesting. But again, saying, oh, well, it's because of historical precedent and all this other stuff why math is racist. Look, man, you learn to count, same grade I learned to fucking count. You learn to fucking do math. We learn to multiply. We learn to divide. We learn all these things at the same age. So there's nothing to it. Now, where the racism or where the difference lies in is, what are you doing with these kids when they go home? What are you doing with these kids? Like, what are you doing to reinstill the importance of education? And people in Seattle, they said that there's a board of teachers or educators who basically said that math is racist towards black people or minorities. And so I don't comprehend that. I don't get that. Like, this is what I'm saying is, like, we're trying to just lower the bar for ourselves. And one of the statements that was made in the thing is what they said, well, who's to say an answer is wrong? Well, if I own a store and it comes to tallying up my total or whatever, or say you go to a store and you come to tallying up your total and you ain't got the right amount of money, well, that store is going to say your math is wrong, right? And you're not going to get this shit. You really want to have motherfuckers walking around here talking about, 5 times 5 is 30 and shit. It's not wrong. It's okay. Like, who gets to this? What do you mean who gets to decide? Again, and I don't, it's this mentality of this everybody needs to win. Like, we need winners and we need losers. Because when you make everybody a winner, when you make everything is acceptable for everybody, then nobody wins in reality. It's something here. Give me just a second. Let me pull this up. Because there was something I saw today and I thought it was worded brilliantly. But let me pull this up. It was on my thing. But it was talking about, let me just phrase it or read it the way it was written before I fuck it all up. I should never pull Grinky. That's their own fault. I have nothing else to say about that. Right. It says a culture, and this can apply to anything, but it says a culture that lacks shame also has to lack pride. When everything is celebrated, nothing motivates a person to be excellent. And so when you start lowering the bar, when you start to make everything acceptable, you're really hindering progress more than you're helping it. When you're validating people for being ignorant in their beliefs and their actions, you're hurting them more than you're helping them. But what I've seen in this society is that people will get mad at you for correcting them. People will get mad at you for offering a proper critique of what they're doing. Even if you're a person with the experience, if you could be a person in the same field and offer a proper critique of somebody. No, you're hating. You just hating. I don't see how somebody's hating on you if they're more successful than you, if they've had, more advancements than you in a particular thing. Now, if it's somebody has nothing to do with what you got going on, they just talking shit and there's no benefit to what they're speaking on, then yeah, I would say, okay, maybe you could call that hating. But people accept people cheering them on for doing the most mediocre shit. We talked about the chick twerking in the Venezuela fire or whatever. Fucking cities burning down around you, and you're saying your form of protest is shaking your ass, and people were, yeah, Queen, this is shaking your ass is something. Let me be careful with that, because not everybody can twerk. I would say it's something that anybody can do. Some people just have bad rhythm, but anybody can basically shake their ass. But you're giving somebody props and credit and support for something that was primarily refined to strip clubs for the longest. The seedy underbelly of society. And now you're a queen because you can shake your ass. Now I respect you because you can shake your ass. This is not excellence. This is something else. And again, I feel like we do a lot of undermining of ourselves, but we don't ever talk about the good that people do. And people do who are, like I say, I mentioned what's his name a lot, the Robert Smith guy. Nobody wants to say, well, how did he make his money? How did he get to where he was? He's a black man who made billions. People tell you black people can't make that kind of money in this country. Black man that made billions. He gives back to a black institution. Nobody said, well, how did he do it? How was he successful? No, first thing they did is he should give back more. You don't know him, never met him, don't give a fuck about him, but he should give you more money. Now, somebody, I can't think of the name, just gave a bunch of money to Spelman to start some kind of gay LGBT history class thing, right? The queen with her hair had crown. Oh man. Some kind of crazy. I wish I would have saved that information, but I didn't. But again, like I said, they donated a few $1,000,000 to Spelman to encourage this new study of some kind of gay something, right? Right. Here it is. Yes. Okay. John Stryker, right? And I wonder why this is always so often pushed. Y'all know my thoughts about the LGBT community. I don't care about your sexuality. I don't give a shit about that. But when it starts to impede on certain other things, and again, like I say, they put all of. I'm trying to be very careful with my words, right? I'm trying to be very careful with my words here. When you put the priority, especially black people, when you talk about advancement and progress and all this stuff, when you put your sexuality over everything else, I question a lot of things. Because not to say that sex is not important. People love it. It is what it is. Sex sells. It is what it is. But if your primary angle, your primary focus on, you see your primary lens is your sexuality, then that's more of a problem, a you problem. More of you getting that under control than it is a problem with society not liking it. But again, so the black guy gives money to help an entire graduating class. Black people say he needs to give more. The white guy, John Stryker, Spelman, hey, take these gay studies. Start a gay studies, gay history class, whatever, and he looks like to be a gay gentleman. People are celebrating this, right? And so this is what I'm saying, where black people, we do a lot of self-inflicted shit to ourselves. We don't hold ourselves to a high understanding. And when we do great things, it's not good enough for most of us. And then there's a few who actually see what's really going on. There's a guy I talk about a lot. I talk about often. Whitlock. A lot of people hate Whitlock. A lot of people can't stand fucking Jason Whitlock. Oh, he's a coon. He's a this. He's a that. You got Shannon Sharp dressing up on TV, wearing do-rags and sipping Hennessy and Black and Miles, which is a popular stereotype, right? But that's not cooning. But because Jason Whitlock holds himself a certain way, he has a certain set of beliefs. This man hires more black people than anybody. He actually has his own show. And he's created a lot of these other resources and things that you guys like. Well, why is the bag now? What is going down? Hold on one second. Let me see why the bag ain't pop up. This is terrible. I'll make it work. The cam has been giving me some shit as of late. But I appreciate their love, Anonymous. We'll figure it out. We'll get it. We'll get it right. Let me see what's going on here. But again, and so my thing is just like, and if you say anything different, if you get outside the norm, again, you're gonna have people say, "Oh, well, you're cooning because you're not agreeing that milk is racist. You're cooning because you're not agreeing that math is racist." I'm trying to fix this in the background and see why it's not acting proper. All right, we're going to get this thing fixed. We're going to get it acting right here in a second. But anyway, I know I'm kind of like rambling. I'm kind of everywhere. I got a bunch of other stuff on my. But again, like I said, the thing is that we got to stop getting on this bullshit because you have some people again, and my big thing is that historically, life was worse off. Historically, there was much more real physical oppression going on in the United States. Now, there are issues here and there, but as a whole, you have more opportunity than you ever have. There's a reason why, like I said, you see immigrants from all other countries coming through this country in droves. If the Africans, listen to niggas, they would never come here, but somehow the Africans come over here, become doctors, become agents, they become financially free, they become successful in a matter of years, and hand that down, what you want to call generationally. Yeah, because milk is white. No, that's really what the article basically said. Miss Gracie posted the article, and these people were serious. They were legitimate. They were talking about because there's a video from a few years back where neo-Nazis were drinking milk and spitting it out, and it was dribbling down their face and all this other stuff. So that means that milk is racist. Again, it is what it is. My thing is this, right? If you wake up every day looking for something, you will find it. If you wake up every day, again, in a country full of millions of people looking for an incident just to prove your point, you will find it. The same way if I said, well, black people are they're all super successful. Well, I can wake up every day and find a story of a black person that's doing well. But in reality, that's not what we want, because then when you do that, it means you have to start holding yourself accountable. It means that you have to start holding yourself to another level, right? But people don't want to do that because that's really what it is. That's really what it is. Don't blame Harris, blame Hinch. Why pull Greinke? Greinke only had 2 hits. He was doing well. And it is what it is. Anyway, we're going to open up the line. Like I said, I'm kind of all over the place this evening. And I've been rambling man, for quite a bit. The top 10, hey, appreciate the fact they got there. Like, here goes one. Hold on, let me fix this real quick. Talk about y'all. You know what, DeMarc? I'm taking your wrench too. Like, yeah. See, this is why I can't be fucking with y'all niggas, man. Y'all gonna sit here and say fuck the Astros for going back to the World Series, pushing it to a Game 7. It is what it is. But next week, y'all ass is going to be rooting for the fucking Texans, who going to probably have a struggle game against the goddamn Jaguars. And y'all going to be excited and happy about it. Appreciate what you have, okay? These motherfuckers went to the fucking World Series 2 times in 3 years. They'll probably be back. Well, depending on, they're gonna have to pay some people, but we'll see. But they'll probably be very close again. And y'all talking about fuck these motherfuckers. Y'all niggas ain't loyal. And I'm not even an Astros fan like that. I mean, I'm learning the game I've been watching, and I think it is what it is. Shit, I mean, you gotta ride. You sounding real emotional. You have to earn that. But you gonna root for the Texans. You gonna root for the Rockets. They ain't been to a finals and win. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, stop the nonsense. Anyway, let me get the line open and all this. So y'all get me distracted. I should have blocked all y'all Astros talking ass niggas. This ain't no goddamn soft sports. Let me open up the line and check it out. You said the top 10. It was raining outside and shit. But my thing is, man, like, I just think it's stupid when we're living in an age of opportunity. I mean, more opportunity than a little bit. And even if you are, but if you want to solely focus on selling, black products or whatever it is that you want to, like, you can find success. But instead, more so than anything, we focus on, this is holding me back, this is holding me down, these things that are not, because then again, like I say, you can always find a case where somebody's had to deal with the same circumstances and overcome the shit. But when you start getting to the point where motherfuckers are talking about math is racist and milk is racist, you know that people are running out of shit. And it's people that have pushed this agenda to you that, yeah, milk is holding you. Look, I get it. A lot of niggas is lactose intolerant, okay? That's a whole nother thing. That doesn't mean that milk is racist to you. Because something is bad for your digestive system doesn't mean it's racist. It means you just probably shouldn't be fucking with it. And that's why I do believe that certain diets and things like that, I do believe that everything isn't for everybody. So when everybody's like, oh, everybody eat this or test and stuff, like, I don't believe that shit. I do believe that, different cultures have different dietary needs. And I think that stems back from, hundreds, if not thousands of years from wherever they originated and things like that. So I think some cultures eating more meat is better for them. I think some cultures eating more vegetables and being more, having more fruits and vegetables in your system is better. I think that different cultures, because we have differences, wow, amazing, benefit from different dietary types. And so milk isn't for most niggas. You're going to be, it's going to be a rumble in the jungle if you consume too much of that shit. But yet, to have motherfuckers sit here and say because you can't really consume it like that, or because you can't necessarily consume milk the same way that most white people can, that makes it racist. Again, math, because again, we're not pushing our students, we're not pushing our own to want to excel in school. Like niggas, I'm telling you, like I've seen no other culture. Well, I don't know. I used to hang with a lot of Hispanics, and I'm gonna sit here. I think it's a class thing more than a cultural thing. Okay, I'm gonna be real with you. Because I've seen some Mexicans do it too. Some old fuck school shit. Niggas really though, but in the sense of, I've seen Mexicans say fuck school, but not really down talk people who are successful in school. They've been more inquisitive. Niggas will tell you you're a loser because you do good in school, or because you're doing well in school. Like, that's the kind of shit that we got going on that we need to eradicate, Oh, another thing, before I take calls, I also want to talk about something. We talked about Kanye the other day, right? And we want to talk about racism. Let's talk about self-hate for just a second. Because here's the thing, right? Here's the thing that happened. Kanye had the little interview with Big Boy in Big Boy's Neighborhood, and he said something about him being the #1 Google brand, and him being the head of I think he said $3 billion company. So if this is the case, right? What's that channel y'all like so much? What's that one y'all like so much? BET. That's that channel y'all be watching. Why does BET come out and do a whole article trying to debunk what he said. What is the purpose behind that? What is it? What is? I mean, there's been a lot of rappers who said a lot of things. A lot of people who said a lot of things. Black, white, pink, purple, gray. But you've never seen BET come out and try to do a debunking article, right? They go out and say, "Oh, he wasn't the most Googled brand. Oh, and he's not worth his company's not worth $3 billion." Like, and then somebody came in and rebutted that and proved that they were false in what they wrote. So this is what I'm saying. But I agree. BGT is owned by white people. I think everybody that's a well-known thing, but they can still eat that shit up. And I ain't mad at them. But get your money. Like, I'm not mad at anybody for capital. Look, I love capitalism. I'm not mad at anybody for doing what you got to do. Eat. If people gonna buy it, sell that shit. Okay, do it. But again, you have to blame the people who support the shit. You know what I'm saying? I blame the people who support the dumb shit, and they're gonna continue. Well, but I don't like this about BET. But this show that I love. Well, guess what? That's all part of the same. Excuse me. That's all part of the same shit, right? That's all part of the same work. If you supporting that, then you supporting everything. You know what I'm saying? Again, so the hit pieces and things of that nature, but people will continue to support. Kanye is probably, if not the only main, but the biggest black name in high fashion. Whether you like his homeless clothes or not. When I think of his clothes, man, what was the thing that they said? Fuck, I can't remember what it was. Zoolander. You remember Zoolander? I don't know if any of y'all watched Zoolander. And one of the clothes was derelict or something that was like the Mogatu or whatever his name was. And it looked like a bunch of homeless clothes. That's the type of shit that Kanye sells. But that shit sells. So I find that very funny, right? But here's the deal. Let's open up the line, man. Let's get some calls in. I want to hear your thoughts. Like I said, I just want to discuss again. All opinions are welcome. Whether you agree, whether you disagree. That's what the den is about. Being able to hear other people's opinions and consuming them. Whether, like I say, you support or don't. We're all friends in the den. We're not all. We're like kind of all friends in the, for the most part. Some of y'all don't like some of the rest of y'all. I'll be beefing. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening, man?
Hey, man, it's Solis.
Solis, what's the motherfucking deal, man? What's on your mind there, Solis?
Nothing, man. I just think people just be posting too much stupid shit on the internet, man.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't personally think it's racist. I mean, that's just mind-boggling that people just want to push shit out there to stir a conversation. That's just controversy,
You think people are just trying to start up? But why? Why is that? Is it because there's a lack of real controversy, so they have to go out and make stuff up? Do you think that there's a real intent behind this, as far as like they do mean well, or do you think it's just some bullshit?
I think people just like conflict. I mean, people just want shit to get talked about, start conflict, and then people just want to get their differences across or their points across, and people start drawing lines in the sand, technically, and we start choosing sides. What's right, what's wrong.
Okay. All right. So what about in this country? Do you feel like, and I know you're a younger dude, so do you feel like racism is still a huge thing in this country? Do you feel like it's that people are more tolerant now? Do you think it's kind of some fringe? Like, what is your perspective on racism now?
Oh man, I feel like it's not as bad like it was like times before, but is it still prevalent? Yes, I ain't gonna lie. Like, racism is still there. Even from kids in my generation, like they get taught from the parents. I mean, I've heard white people say, the ER word before. A lot of times in high school, I've heard a lot of white people say it with the A. I mean, it's just kind of weird to me because I don't understand. Like, I don't really want to say it because I don't have any correlation to that word. Like, that's not my word. It's like the same thing if I was to hear a white person say way or a black person say way. It's not really their word. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel you. That's funny that you said that. Okay. Well, of course, Miss Meat, you would think so, Angela. Um, but my thing is just that, I feel yes, so you do see a lot of incidents of with younger white people. I've seen it because I saw a video the other day. I thought was very shocking. It was a young white dude and his dad. I think his dad was gonna use the restroom or go try to take a shower. And he was confronting his dad. And he was calling him all kind of niggas and what's up, nigga? Like he was trying to fight him and all this other shit. But here's my thing, and again, I'm not giving it a pass. I'm not saying it is what it is, but I think that there's a disconnect between a lot of the older generation who have an idea, who've actually experienced some things, who have an idea about it and what it means, and the younger generation. Because you have a young generation now that, I mean, in their 20s, mid 20s now, they have no idea about, like September 11th and what that meant to them. That's ancient history when, that was something I was alive through. And so I try to give some of the younger people a pass, but I think it's hard for people who have that experience, who have that connection, who have that, now not too much of a pass, but who have that history, who are part of that history, to understand that somebody else has no connection to it. They don't understand it. They don't, they have no perspective whatsoever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. So that's the thing too. Feel like it's like a cool thing with some people, like, oh, because they could say I want to say it too, but like the real thing is like, why though? Like, what does that word have correlation to you? Basically, I don't understand it sometimes.
Do you think they're influenced by the music? Because I mean, the biggest purchasers of like rap music are, I believe, like white teenagers. So do you think that because they listen to a lot of the music and they feel maybe a connection to that sound, that culture, or whatever it is, that they become influenced?
Yeah, they feel like it's the culture, like what's actually in the songs is what actually like black people do or whatever. I mean, yeah, I mean that's like the mystery side. I feel like people because it's gonna be a different culture. I mean, if you're a white person, you're gonna have a different cultural growth or background than a black person and how they grew up. So when you get exposed to that, especially like suburban white kids. So I mean, I stay in the suburbs right now with my grandma, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's this dude I used to grow up with. I knew him pretty close, and he was a white guy. And this dude just likes to say the word nigga at all times, bro. Like he's like this, or this. He says it around his mom. I'm just like, okay, but at that same token, he'll call the black people with the ER. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's so weird because you feel like he'll talk down to him, but he. I don't want to say this, but he wants to act or try to be a thug or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
So it's mind-boggling to me because like why? You live in the burbs, bro. Like there's nothing happening. I've actually like stayed somewhere and like where there's gunshots happening outside your house because of the drive-by shooting and stuff shit. Like that shit's not fun. Like what's so fun about that shit? Like and like you see people, especially like young people, be posting guns on social media like. Everything is all fun and games until one of their friends gets shot and killed, or a cousin or a family member.
Yeah.
Then it's a whole different story. Like, oh, what happened? I'm not really about this. And so my girlfriend has said something too. Is like everybody wants to be black until they actually have to be black.
Mm-hmm. Everybody want to be a nigga until it's time to be a nigga.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that one. But that's the thing, man. Like I say, it's kind of a different thing because you can play the role, and then when it's time to disconnect, it's easy to disconnect. I don't understand that either, but I think that because the culture becomes so glorified, the whole street culture. Oh, we glorify, we promote this in the music, it's in the movies, all the stuff, the sex, drugs, money, rock and roll, however you want to call that old saying. That life just seems like it's glorified, but there's a whole different underbelly, and a lot of people who are living that life are not living it that way. So I think people see it, and maybe it's this sense of adventure, this sense of excitement, or whatever that comes with it. But it ain't always that. It's really a lot of the things that go along with that. But again, when you're on the outside looking in, you're only going to see the good. You're not going to really have an idea of what the negative aspects of it are. So I understand. I see that a lot. I've seen some funny shit, but I would save some of them stories. But again, like I said, I think that could definitely be the case. Yeah, if you are doing well, you living in the burbs, enjoy that shit. Look, trust me, I'm the same way. Like I said, I'm in a spot now. The last few years, like I said, I've been in a situation like, wow, this is way better than what I had been doing. I was.
Like, I don't understand like why people want cops to their house. I don't like cops, so why the fuck would I want a cop to my place every day because of suspect shit? That shit's not cool. I don't like to be like I've been profiled up in the suburbs, bro. This shit's not fucking cool. I was out here chilling with a girl one time outside my house in my car. We had this cop was way across the other side of the street, had his lights on. They didn't know what it was. He was undercover cop. His lights was just on.
Yeah.
He started finally driving down slowly to see who we were, and he sped off. And then parked his car like a mile down, stopped and walked up to see what we were doing. And then he wouldn't let me get out the car because he thought I was trying to steal break into a house basically. Like, bro, I stay here. And so it's just, shit like that with some places, especially up in Dallas, man. That shit kind of thorough.
Okay. So what do you what do you thought? Like I said, with these people who make these pieces, like I said, the milk and the math and the stuff like that. What is your interpretation of people of this mindset?
Fucking drink the milk. You're consuming racism.
I'm gonna be finding something funny. I was actually eating a bowl of cereal when I read that shit. I was like, God damn, ain't this a bitch? I'm participating in it. So, it is what it is. Angela, I know you ain't talking about nobody team. Your teams don't win nothing, and you trying to say somebody suck. Did the Braves get out the first round? What are they, a wild card? What are they even doing? Did they make the playoffs? I don't even know. The Braves are trash. And how about Oklahoma? So, there's that. But
shit, Houston ain't gonna win shit if they don't have a coach that knows how to play defense.
Man, fucking I ain't even worried about that. I was out on that shit early on this season. I'm telling you, things are starting to come to fruition. I'm not even gonna talk on it because they say I'm super negative about it, so I ain't even gonna speak on that. We'll just let some things play out as they must. Okay, but anything else that's on your mind, that's Solis?
Nah, man, that's really got it. That's all, really.
All right, okay. Well, I appreciate your call, man.
No problem, man.
All right, have a good one. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
Well, it's about time. It's Belle.
Well, Miss Bell, how are you doing this evening, Miss Bell?
I'm doing good. Kenneth needs to be put in timeout. He's pissing me off tonight.
Yeah, me too. I did timeout. He went to the other account. I gotta block all his accounts.
Well, he just needs to go to bed for tonight because he's just pissing me off. And I don't put him in the corner too often, but once in a while, you gotta spank the kids and let them know who's still the grown-ups.
You might like this. Kid is a weirdo.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I forgot. But, yeah, sometimes you just gotta time them out. I see DeMarcus lost his wrench for tonight, too.
Yes. DeMarcus is misbehaving. Infinite.
So, another one of our children with timeout. R.I.P. to Pops. He was a really good character actor.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I remember him from way back in the day. But, okay, so tonight's topic. You're absolutely right. It probably should have been bigotry rather than racism, but because that's something that I've mentioned before. People can be prejudiced, I think, more than they're actually racist, and that's just my opinion, and I'm, disclaiming that I feel that things are just prejudged rather than always about racism. And what's the deal with the damn milk? Does anybody know what the core actual issue is with the milk?
There's no real issue. Again, like I said, the whole thing was basically they had, I guess, because there's an old video of Nazi use, so I guess they tried to say milk is associated with Nazi propaganda. And again, because a lot of black people can't really consume milk because of the lactose intolerance. And so, they talk about it. It's really a bunch of nonsense.
Honestly, they're full of shit because there's a lot of white people that are lactose intolerant too. Why do you think coconut milk and almond milk and cashew milk have seen their way into grocery stores? Because it's the economy of being able to feed the masses that are intolerant, and that has nothing to do with skin color. That has to do with greenbacks.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this, but when people were intolerant of cow milk, they had to drink goat milk.
Goat milk's actually pretty good. I had some goat milk straight from the goat one time. I was used to be raised by a Mexican family. They actually had some goats in the backyard. That was when life was good.
Well, yeah, because we were kids and didn't know any better, right?
Exactly.
But the thing is because it's much more humane on the human system, it's less. There's so much less in it, and that's why, like, when babies can't tolerate milk, that's why you got pro-sorbet for baby formulas. I mean, it's both white and black kids that go on soy formula for milk. I mean, so that's just bullshit. I'm disclaiming all that crap.
Okay.
And I find it to be a bunch of horse shit.
Cow's milk is horse shit.
Yep. More manure than I care to shovel at this point through any door. So, what was the next topic we were talking about?
Like I said, we were just talking about in general, like how people perceive things to be more racist / prejudiced these days. When I feel like the campaign, I think people are more tolerant than ever. This is not to say that there are not incidents of prejudice, that there are not incidents of racism, but I think as a whole, society is much more tolerant than they were, even, 15, 20 years ago. These days, and prior to that, way more, So what would your thoughts be on that?
I absolutely agree. I think that there's still racism on all levels, whether it's black and white, Hispanic and Asian, or any one of those mixtures, or even more mixtures with the American Indians and the East Indians, but culturally as well. I mean, it's still there. I kind of got to give the alphabet soup community the props, because in some ways I think that it did bring a little bit of the other cultures together. I know. You're like, where the hell are you going with this? But where I'm going with this is that black and whites had a reason to come together to not agree with the LGBT community, the straight ones and the not straight ones. So there's compassion found on all sides of every fence of every different community. Lewis had posted something about in the post about crap. I wish I remembered. It just went off my mind. We were talking about. I'll get back to it. The point is that there are so many things going on. We were talking about emotions running the bus. We were talking about logics and emotion. Logic is where you can sit down and make a plan. And he said, well, what if emotion was in charge? Do you really want your emotions driving the bus of where you're going? No, you don't. And so I think this country has allowed and spoon-fed emotion triggering to become the norm in this country, rather than coming back on some common logic and common sense. Because to be honest with you, I know I'm a little bit confusing, but I'm going to get to the point. Common sense has really become a rare commodity, almost as though it's an endangered species. When once it's all we had was something that was common to be able to understand that that was the right thing to do. Because nothing is common anymore, it doesn't seem like anybody has any sense to go with it. And I don't know if anybody else understands that, but it's just that we've allowed everything to go on such an individual, and they're an exception to the rule, and they're an exception to the rule, and you get to be an exception to the rule, that where the hell's the rule? And if you've got the rules so skewed than what it was originally meant to be, there's a black and white line, no pun intended, then either everybody's going to be on that line or nobody's going to be on that line.
Yeah, I agree with
and when we start skewing the lines, then that's where the chaos happens. Because if you make an exception for this person, then you make an exception for that person. How many out there in our audience have said, okay, I make $5 too much to get food stamps. I finally make $10 so less that I can actually get cash assistance. Sadly, sometimes when you're at that particular financial level, those are the bars that you're dealing with. And as far as the finances in this country, the caste system has gotten wider and wider and wider. We have not had a quote-unquote middle-class economic value in probably close to 25 years, if not 30. It's either the haves or the have-nots, and I don't mean the program on BET either. Excuse me, on OWN. I apologize, wrong station. But it's more about the haves and the have-nots. And, you know, it's very difficult when I don't know. I can't even go there tonight. I'm just frustrated. But yeah, people prejudge things more than I think that they're racist. Racist is always going to have an undertone in any country and in every country because there's always going to be two sides to every story. Now, this is the last thing I'm going to put out there because y'all know that I do genealogy. I've been saying it. I've been doing it almost 10 years. And I love Henry Louis Gates. And he did an interview with Puff Daddy. And come to find out, Puff Daddy's roots, his family did not come from slavery. On his paternal line, they were all freemen when they came in through Virginia. And I think that that's really cool for the fact, yes, he got to find out how his origins were, but I also like the fact to know that we're breaking through the barriers of it not just being about slavery, that people can actually go back to the origins of where their countries were.
So where was he originally from?
They didn't go as far back as that. They went back as far as his original, as far back as they went was Virginia at that point. West Virginia, I'm sorry. West Virginia was as far back as it had dated on the show. They might have went back even further, but that was as far back as they actually showed. And they will go on both and do both lines of the family, both the maternal and the paternal part. And they do the DNA records, too. You know? And so that's where I'm thinking myself, this is where we're becoming more together than we are separate, because once you realize that you're not all this or you're not all that, we actually have a lot more in common than we don't.
I would agree so too, because with all the, like you said, with all the mixing that has gone through the years and through all the generations, I think that a lot more people do have ties than maybe that don't.
And what's interesting is my best friend is black, and her and I, from the day that we started talking and comparing like our childhoods, we could have grown up in the same neighborhood in two different parts of the country, which we did. And it ended up bringing us that much closer because of that. That we had more alike than we had different.
Why is the thing not? Give me 1 second, because I want to make sure y'all get y'all. Why is the fucking the dilly dally acting so fucking crazy?
Wow, that paper bag's not looking that great tonight either, is it?
Yeah, it's look like a fucking headless horseman or some shit going on here. Give me just a second. It's probably the chroma key color that I have chosen. I will go with that.
And tell culture that I'm not that Neanderthal. I do realize that, in fact, I probably realize it more than most because my former boss, who happened to have been a professor and black and a millionaire, made more money than I will ever make. So I am very well aware of people, of African Americans, black people, Africans. Where am I missing? the Caribbeans can all make more money than I do. Yeah, I'm not that naive. I'm just saying that I only give my perspective because if I said anything outside of my culture, I get shot my ass down in this group, and I am not playing that game.
Man, speak your mind. Anybody who want to shoot you down, shoot them back down. Don't let them
Shit.
stop.
I could be in deep for stupid shit. I'll own mine and what I say. I respect that, but the fact is I give a lot of respect to a lot of different people, you know? And I have no problem shooting ducks in a barrel sometimes, watching the boards as I'm talking with you on the phone either. Because when they act childish, I don't put up with that shit either. And it happens once in a while.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, that's what some people are going to respond in an odd way, but like I say, man, it's about speaking your piece, speaking your truth. Honestly, whether the masses agree, disapprove, whatever it is, it's about your perspective and understanding and enlightening us all in one way or another.
Absolutely. And the thing is that as long as I'm owning it, I don't give a flying rat's ass what anybody else thinks. Because you can be grown and still be friggin' immature. And we've all seen that. But I'm hoping that everything's going better with you. You would definitely miss last night.
Yeah, I miss y'all. I'm telling you, I've been missing the den phone too. Just like I said, I realize there's some carryover. I'm not as young as I once was, but I'm young as I've ever been. But so I definitely have to start sticking to the schedule. So the first I said I've kind of lined out the schedule.
I do know that is a good song, by the way. You know.
Yeah, that's so like I said, I have to tighten up a couple of things. So like I said, start on the first. What is that? Friday. I'm gonna get more strict on my schedule so I can be more efficient. Because even when I carry over the den and things like that, there's a residual effect that I miss some stuff. I try to catch up, and that pushes other things back, and so then I end up missing out on the den, and it becomes a vicious cycle. So
listen, Honcho, I wasn't trying to wrap your knuckles as a parent would do. It was just I wanted to let you know that it was like, I'm hoping he's okay.
Oh yes, everything is good. Everything is good. Just a timing issue.
And shit happens sometimes, just as I told you before, and it'll happen again at some point. So just let us know so that we know you're okay.
All right. Yes, ma'am, I will do.
All right, I'll let you go. Back to the boards, and y'all have a good night.
All right, you too, Miss Bella. I appreciate you calling.
All right. Night.
Good night. Yeah, I gotta adjust the settings on this thing because I know the things they've been coming in clear. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
Man, I'm emotional right now, Honcho.
Oh man, I already know.
I'm just so fucking fed up with this shit. No, we get the perfect matchup, my nigga. We get a team who ain't got no fucking pitching, and we just stop hitting the ball, just completely, just gave the shit up. We just went on strike. Choke City's back, bro. And then to make matters worse, the Rockets, it was 130 to 129 going into the fourth quarter.
Wow.
These motherfuckers ain't have a single block, not a single steal, not a charge, nothing. They ain't even trying to stop these niggas. Oh, fuck, man. Fuck. Bro.
This
don't make no sense, bro. I mean, you talk about one of the greatest cities in America, and we just cannot get this sports thing right at all. We got everything else figured out besides this sports thing.
Mm-hmm.
J.J. Watt body deteriorated, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And the best thing about that is we traded Clowney because, fuck that nigga. We ain't need that nigga.
Exactly. Right.
Jeez, bro. I told myself I wasn't going to be drinking like this, man. Fuck, I need something to drink. Fuck. Dog, this is just,
Yeah, still, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Because I was debating the den tonight. I'm like, man, we might make history here. And then as soon as they pulled Greinke and Rendon hit that little 2-run, put them up 3 times, I was like, well, time for the den. After that, I was just like, I knew it was going to get ugly after that.
But you want to know when I knew we was going to lose that motherfucker? When every time we hit a home run, they started taunting. Like, that ain't even our game, bro. Let them do that shit. That's not our game. When they started taunting, now you got these little motherfuckers out here trying to match the home runs. That's when we got our ass beat.
Yeah.
Bregman going to take his home run and bring the bat with him. Okay. You see what Juan Soto did. You see what he did. Nigga, and when Bregman hit one home run, Soto done hit 3 of them bitches. See, this is why I don't like this type of shit. Just play the game, bro. Play the fucking game. And I mean, the Rockets, let me tell you something right now. Y'all can go ahead and kill this championship shit talk. I don't want no part of that shit. You can go ahead and X me off right now. This was game 5. Cancel me right now. I'm done with that shit. I'm over that shit.
You ain't gonna give no time to jail, man.
No, I'm good, bro. I'm not finna waste 82 games plus the playoffs. I'm not doing that shit because I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. They don't fuck around and play against the Lakers or the Clippers and get swept. They can't stop nobody. Man, fuck this shit. Fuck this shit. Nah, you can go ahead and cancel that order for me. The Texans, you can go ahead and cancel that shit for me because they ain't finna get no pass rush.
So they barely get one
motherfuckers
win,
traded Clowney for no reason. Man. Okay, let me get off of sports because it's obvious I ain't supposed to be happy at all. So let me just get off of that shit. Milk is definitely racist. And I'm going to tell you the reason why I know milk is racist. Because if it's one thing niggas had in their house growing up, it was fucking cereal and milk.
Yeah.
We ain't have nothing else, so it got to be racist. If they said that cereal, milk, and noodles was racist, I'm all for it. Because I'm going to tell you something right now. Ain't a nigga I know who ain't eat that shit. I know niggas who are lactose intolerant still drink fucking milk every day and eat cereal, eat ice cream. So it got to be racist. Speaking of the racist and woke Olympics, did you get a chance to hear about watch the Obama summit? The Obamas having a little summit today or yesterday or whatever.
That was the thing. I caught the clip of him talking about, basically saying people need to stop with all this woke bullshit because you ain't, like you said, you lack purity or all this stuff. He said you're gonna end up regretting it or something. He said along the line, but I didn't catch the exact thing though. The whole. As a president, I don't give 2 flying fucks about the guy. But as far as a man, he's everything that I feel like the black community needed and what we stood stand for. And basically, what he says is this woke council culture ain't about shit. Y'all ain't counseling nobody. All y'all do is sit on y'all social media and just point at people's faults. And like he said, a lot of good people have flaws. So when y'all sit around here and y'all quote unquote canceling people, don't be surprised when the people who you support get canceled also, because that's how this thing works. Yeah. You cancel, and then you ain't changing nothing. But the thing that and I was like, okay, Obama, you doing your thing. I said, you know what, I respect that. You finally said something right. Then this punk-ass wife just ruined it for me. Nah.
She talks about white flight, and when she got out of Princeton, and they moved to this neighborhood, and as soon as she moved to the neighborhood, all the white people started moving, and I'm thinking to myself, let me think of which neighborhood it was. So I went and looked it up. You moved to a neighborhood in D.C., affluent neighborhood in D.C. where your home costs $8 million. Michelle, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. If the white people moved out the neighborhood, it wasn't because of your black ass. They moved because they didn't want to live there no more. Don't give me that shit. This is the same. Dude, they have a home in Martha's Vineyard. $15 million. Like, and she was like, oh yeah, and y'all white folks, y'all still running from us. And I'm like, you went to Princeton and Harvard. You don't use y'all. That's some Southern shit.
Exactly.
You ain't from the like. Why do you have to pander to us like this? And why do you have to keep trying to make it relate to us? You can relate to, dear black elites. You can relate to niggas without trying to create everything about racism. Like when the white people move out my neighborhood, it ain't because of my black ass. They don't give a fuck about me. They moving because they got a new subdivision that's being built somewhere. Because here's the crazy thing about these neighborhoods that people don't realize, and broke niggas who was clapping for Michelle to have no idea. If you live in a neighborhood where every house is worth $8 million, everybody here got at least $8 million to afford this motherfucker.
Yeah.
They not scared of motherfucking Barack and Michelle over here in the cul-de-sac. These houses got so much surveillance and maintenance to them, they don't give 2 flying fucks about you. When you move to the neighborhood, them people move because they had another house somewhere else being built. But you won't come out and say that shit. Don't know everybody who live in Lake Olympia got money. You think they give a fuck because Tracy McGrady lived there? majority of the white people live there just say it's a big tall nigga live out here. They don't even know who the fuck that is.
Yeah, don't even know what that nigga.
They don't know who the fuck that is. Before Bernie Madoff got caught stealing all that money from everybody, Bernie Madoff lived in the same neighborhood with Emmitt Smith and Deion Sanders. Had no idea who they were. Do you want to know when he met them? He had a seminar and they came to him and was like, wait a minute. Are you the guy that lives on the corner? Like, yeah. And that's how they found out. When white people have money and they doing their thing, they don't give a fuck about you. Bernie Madoff was stealing $20 million every weekend. He didn't give a fuck about no Emmitt Smith. Man, fuck these niggas and these big shiny ass necklaces. Don't give a damn about them. But it really is sad where we are as a people, because one thing about America is so motherfucking great that we got to create problems.
Exactly.
Michelle got to come up with shit. And let me say this, man, because it needs to be said. You got a person like Michelle Obama who will tell you how bad white people are and how they were moving and getting away from them, because she wants those who lack the intelligence to create this facade where we're supposed to hate white people. But let me tell y'all something. Every major decision Michelle Obama has that she makes every day, she consults a white person. When it's time to transfer her money to another account, she talks to white people. When it's time for her to decide if she's going to go purchase another home in Martha's Vineyard, let me tell you something right now. When you buy a home in Martha's Vineyard or you buy a home in the Hamptons, you ain't calling Tyrell and them. I'm telling you, ain't nobody white in none of these transactions. When she decides to go and go on these book tours, ain't nobody black coordinating that shit. When you decide you want to come out with a clothing line, ain't no niggas in that room, man. See, that's some shit that makes me mad. You make it seem like white people are the enemy, yet all your close friends are white. It's a whole bunch of Sherry's and Emily's and Tammy's in the room, but you gonna make it seem like this is the enemy. No, fuck all that. When she wanna go visit her daughter, when she wanna go to Michigan and go visit her daughter, you know what she calling? White people. Her security team, white folks. When it's time to go out here and donate some money, who she calling? Them white folks to find out how much she got to donate, and if it can be tax written off. Like, come on, man, stop that shit. If you black and you live in America and you have any intent of being successful, you're gonna have white friends. If you white and you live in America, you might have to have a couple black friends. I'm not saying you got to. You might need a couple just so they can kind of, pull you back. Because, white people, y'all lose y'all stuff and y'all have no nigga friends. Y'all just get out here and just do a whole bunch of retarded shit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all get out here and just lose y'all self. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just want to do all the drugs. You need a black friend to tell you can't do all them fucking drugs. You got a job to do today. But it's the yin and the yang, man. It's the yin and the yang. Yeah. White people and black people, we all got to get along in this motherfucker. Everybody. So stop all this racist bullshit talk. And obesity is racist. How the fuck is obesity racist?
Oh, man.
You ate the food. You ate the whole pizza. That had what the fuck?
Man.
No. What?
What about math though? Did you hear the one about math being racist? Did we talk about that? The math being racist?
Now I will say this, Honcho, because I ain't good at math at all. So I'm rolling with math being racist. If we can get rid of math, well, you know what? No, you know what? Scratch that. Math ain't racist, because if the shit was racist, y'all should have canceled that shit when I was in school. So don't want to hear that shit. I had to suffer through that fucking shit. Polynomials, man, fuck all that shit. I don't know how to do none of that shit. And look, for all you young kids out here who, you know what I'm saying, going to school, man, go to school and learn all that math shit. Learn all of it, bro, because you ain't going to use not one piece of that shit in your everyday life. You need 3 components to be successful in America. Can you count money? Yes. Can you do percentages? Yes. Do you understand temperature? Yes. That's all the fuck you need. I ain't never got ready to pay my mortgage and say, damn, you know what? If I just had the Pythagorean theorem, I could somehow pay my mortgage. Nigga, either you pay this shit or they going to come pack this motherfucker up.
Man. Did you see the thing that there was a little bit of outrage involving Trump? I want to say over the weekend or maybe a couple of days ago, because he put the candy bar on top of the Minion. Did you see that? I thought that shit was hilarious.
Bruh, but the funny part about it was, did you hear what people said that that was a slave master move?
What?
Yes, bro. So they said because he put the candy bar on top of the minion's head, it was a slave master move. Now I watched all the slave movies. I've seen Hidden Colors. I watched Roots. I watched 12 Years a Slave. I watched all the movies. Django, all of them. All them books I read. I ain't never heard no shit like this in my life. And I said, wait, what? The fucking minion had his hands in his pocket. What else is he gonna do?
Yeah.
And it was a big ass Kit Kat. Just pick the fucking candy up, dude. Oh, bruh. I just, Honcho, man. At this point, bruh, I have just decided that, you know what? I can't even, at this point in life, I can't defend Trump no more. Like, people have lost their fucking noodle to the point where this is some slave master shit. Yeah. Putting candy on somebody's head because they're in a fucking costume.
That's
man, it was rough. Yeah. It was rough. It was rough, bro.
This is a new form of racism. I didn't get the updated handbook because I'm missing out on some of it.
Bro, I don't subscribe to it, man. But it just blew my mind. I mean, it was a fucking kid. I mean, you think it was like probably a 4 or 5 year old, right? Because the minion looked smaller than the motherfucker.
Yeah.
But he ain't had no basket, so.
But did you see the other girl come up though? Because once the candy bar slid off his head, the other one had the bag there and got the win. You know, because he couldn't get it or whatever. It fell off his head, and the little girl who was like right in front of him, I think she backdoor and scored and picked it up. So you know.
Yeah, because that's what smart people do. That's what smart people do. The minion didn't have a fucking basket. His hands in his pocket. Where else he gonna put it? Ain't nowhere else to put the fucking candy. He just stuck it on the nigga head. I mean, fuck, what you want me to do?
Bro.
Boy, Lord have mercy, bro. I don't even know, bro. Niggas mad at Trump for putting the candy bar in nigga head. When we was kids, Honcho, they used to give us all kind of wild shit. I remember I used to go, and people used to give us VCR tapes. Remember that shit? They would give you old movies. Bro, I'll be like, what the fuck is this? Dog. Niggas used to give us all kind of, Meryl. I remember one time, bro, I went trick-or-treat with my brothers, bro. Lady gave us some motherfucking socks that she knitted.
What?
Some knitted, bruh. I said, ma'am, what is this? Where is the candy? Bruh, they used to give us fruit. I know, Honcho, I know they done gave you some fruit before. I don't want no black ass banana for Halloween, bitch.
Yeah. Man.
You done gave a nigga big ass grapefruit. That shit ain't even sweet. What is a kid gonna do with a grapefruit? Boy, oh boy. VCR tapes, bro. Somebody gave me The Last Dragon on VHS one time during Halloween. I bullshit you not. It was I watched The Last Dragon so many times. I ain't gonna lie, I watched that motherfucker. They used to give us all kind of dumb shit.
Oh, shit. That's tough, buddy.
Highlighters, markers, crayons. Come on, dog. They used to give us some fucked up shit for Halloween. Y'all mad at Trump for putting a candy bar on a minion head. Come on, man. Stop that shit. Okay, all right, Honcho, I got one for you, Honcho. Okay. You ain't never got a pack of noodles for Halloween?
Man, so see, this is what you got to understand, though. See, because I was raised, so I ain't get to trick or treat, but I snuck maybe 1 or 2 in by kicking it at a friend's house or something. So I didn't have too many adventures because we wasn't celebrating that shit. So I either had to hustle some excess candy from one of my partners, or like I said, I had maybe 2. I think it might have been 2 of them that I may have pulled off if they fell on the weekend and I was at a friend's house or something and ended up going trick-or-treating or some shit like that. But I ain't never really get too many exotic materials.
My nigga, I've had, when I was a kid, I used to get at least between 4 and 10 packs of the chicken noodles, the chicken flavor, the orange pack. Mm-hmm. I used to get about 10 of them bitches every year for Halloween. I used to be like, bro, what the fuck is going on with these? I mean, of course I ate them bitches. I ain't gonna lie to you. My mama ate them. We ate them bitches. I ain't gonna front. We was broke. We ate the noodles. Noodles was good. But I just don't get why noodles would be something that you would give out during Halloween. Yeah. I mean, that shit.
That's the deal. Like, instead of buying the bulk candy, like, just go get you. That's when they was what? They still got them to the 6 to the pack. Or they that's back then when they was about 10 for $1. Maybe 8, now they about 4, 6 for $1. 6 if you're lucky, 5 if you're lucky now. Shit, them hoes went up. It used to be about 10 cents a damn noodle. Now shit, them hoes inflation.
I didn't know people still eat them. Mm-hmm. Once I got older and I realized how bad they were for you, I stopped fucking with them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because once you get older and actually read the label, you like, damn, I'm surprised I ain't have a heart attack eating these bitches.
Yeah, them hoes super soft.
Because in black families, we eat them motherfuckers like that was the healthiest shit in the world. We eat that shit, 4 or 5 packs of them bitches all the time.
Yeah.
That shit got MSG in it, all kind of sodium and everything.
Yeah, but I think the prison industry alone keep them in business. Because you heard about the dude, he got out of jail. I forgot how long he was in there, and he was like a chef or whatever. He was doing the cooking in the prison, and then when he got out, that's when he started his own little noodle company. But he actually put some live flavors to him. He had like a gumbo and a bunch of different little flavors. So that's how he started a little come up. He was doing all right for himself,
That's not a bad hustle at all, man. Just like I said, I guess ignorance is really is bliss. Because once you get older and start reading the packages, I'd be like, bruh, 34 grams of sodium, bitch. You about to kill somebody in here. Nigga might die like blowing on the noodles and just pass the fuck out, facing the noodles type shit. We used to eat them bitches dry and everything. Put the sauce in the bag and shake them.
Yeah.
Like chips, man. That shit is gonna kill somebody.
Man, but that's noodles.
Shit, noodles is racist. Noodles is racist for real. Nigga, they ate 10 million packs of them bitches.
Man, that shit there is crazy. But yeah, I know some niggas still just going extremely hard on the noodles. I bought some noodles. When was it was a little hurricane threat. I bought some. My old lady got on my, what you getting them damn noodles for? She can't stand them motherfuckers. She be beefing with that shit. I'm like, man, look, just in case shit get shaky, she won't touch them motherfuckers. She'll talk about me bad for just having them in the house. I don't even think they might still be in there. And she will get on my ass just to have the noodles in the house. Like, she can't stand them hoes. She be killing me with that shit.
Man, my son came home, he was mad. He's like, Daddy, why we ain't never got no noodles in here? And I was like, man, we don't eat that shit in this house. And, my wife had to explain to him that growing up, that's really all I ate, so I don't buy that shit. Yeah. Them fucking, them Vienna sausages? Hell no. You ain't got to worry about that coming up in here. Boy, let me tell you something right now. I ate so many motherfucking Vienna sausages growing up, I will never eat that shit ever again. Don't bring that potted meat shit, man, Spam, none of that shit. No, hell no. To this day, I don't know what Spam is. Man. I'm not ever eating that ever again. I done tried Spam any way you can think it could be prepared. Cooked, baked, fried man, fuck that shit. No, sir. No, sir. Spam is racist. Because all the poor people get Spam, so Spam is racist for sure. Spam is definitely racist, because I ain't never heard nobody successfully eating Spam.
You heard me.
Spam is terrible, Jack.
That's wild. Spam, I don't know. The people who make Spam don't know what Spam is. So that's a tell you.
And then and when I was in the I think I was in maybe seventh grade, I found out what was in bologna, and that shit was over with from that point on. I couldn't even stomach that shit. That shit was over. Once you found out that's the byproduct of the pig, oh no, sir. Oh no, sir.
See,
it tastes good, and when you find out what you eat, you like, oh, I can't eat this shit no more. This ain't right. This ain't right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, I ain't never fuck with bologna anyway, because this shit just used to, it just never set right with me. I didn't even know what it was, but it just never set right. But then the little strip on the outside, you know what I'm saying?
The red strip.
Yeah, the little red strip, and you peel that shit out. Yeah, just something about that whole process used to bother me. So I was like, man, I don't know about that.
Bro, bologna that mystery meat. It's like one of them things when you find out what the fuck you eating, you like, bro, oh my God, I can't do this. I can't do this no more. This ain't right. You might be eating pig dick and don't know it. Whatever left over, you eating pig scrotum, bro. You just, you know what I'm saying? And look, for the kids, they don't know no better. Don't tell the kids. So once they find out, it's over for them. They can't eat that shit no more. Lord have mercy.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Nigga eating pig spleen. You eating all kind of pig byproducts. I ain't even know pigs even had these body parts. Nigga had pig kidney inside the bologna. I'm good on that shit. Fuck that.
Yeah, that's
terrible. Fuck that. Yeah, but the truth of the matter is, at the end of the day, it's all racist. Because, bologna is definitely set us back 300 years. Somatic oppression. Somatic oppression. Bologna. Somatic oppression.
It's all part of the master plan, man.
Yeah. And the crazy part, when a girl was going on the tangent about how, obesity, and I don't know if you watched the whole video, because the shit had me in tears. I'm at the office laughing. Me and my white friends are laughing at the shit, because I couldn't believe it. They told, because they are part of the, they white, so they want to feel like, you know what I'm saying, that they get outraged over everything that fuck over black people.
Yeah.
You guys just have it so bad. So they showed me the video. So we watching it. I'm looking, I say, She said, yeah, because if you look at it, black women who follow the same diet as white women don't lose as much weight. I said, well, ain't that something? She goes, and that's the reason is because it's racist. I said, Lord have mercy. If you don't get your big ass out of here, the reason why you ain't losing the same amount of weight is because your ass don't follow the diet, you retard.
Yeah, then she blamed on Trump administration. Some says, you telling me you only been this big for the last 3 years and that's it? So it's a recent thing. I'm like, man, people will find anything and other people will listen to that nonsense. You've
been fat since Carter. You've been fat since Jimmy Carter, bitch. You've never had a neck.
Oh, I know what I want to ask
about.
Obama?
What's that then?
Buddy, have you seen the thing about Spelman and they starting up that gay studies? The guy that gave I think he gave $2 or $3 million to start up that gay studies program at Spelman.
I ain't even hear about that. What the fuck? What?
Yeah, it's a white guy striker. He's an architect, and he's gay. So he's donated some money to Spelman for them to start up a gay class, and they promoting that. But again, I was talking about old buddy. He paid for all those dudes to, he covered all the student loans and everything, and he was still getting demolished, destroyed, canceled, if you will, even though they didn't even know who he was to cancel.
Canceled.
But this guy, like I said, gives a couple of $1 million to promote a gay studies program, and now they exalt him to the forefront.
Now, you know the wild part about that is, he gives $2 million for this gay studies, right? Mm-hmm. He gives Spelman, HBCU, $500,000 and 1.5 goes towards this gay studies bullshit. Mm. Now they gonna put all their resources into this shit and promote before people. White people who don't even know what Spelman University is or where it's located. That's all they're gonna know Spelman for now. Is this bullshit ass gay inequality bullshit. But then y'all will sit back here and talk about how come HBCUs have went down over the years. Niggas used to stand for something. We got all kind of shit going on in the world. And that's what listen, if you want to donate your money to Spelman, donate your money to Spelman. If you're going to donate your money on some, you know what I'm saying, quid pro quo, you do this for me, I do this for you, nah, bro, we good on that. We don't need your money that way. Because niggas, we stand for more than that. Well, at least we used to, not anymore. Evidently not anymore. Because we the same people who sit up here and counsel Robert Smith because we found out that this man has a white wife. He's been married to her. That's been his wife. He was married to when he donated the money to the motherfucking niggas at Morehouse. But for some odd reason, y'all canceled the man. Because then y'all said he should have donated more money to other HBCUs. You know what? It's funny. I got to make you laugh before I get off this phone. Got to make you laugh. So I got a buddy of mine. He works for me, whatever the case may be. Comes from a very, very great home. Met his parents. Great dude, man. Great dude. So woke. Oh my God, Honcho. This is the wokey woke nigga of all time. He wore glasses. Ain't nothing wrong with his vision. He think he Malcolm X. This nigga is woke, boy. When Robert Smith donated that money to Morehouse, this is what he said. I just don't understand why he got to give money to Morehouse when schools like Tuskegee can really use that money. He was going off. So one day, me and him went to Panda Express, right? Now this is funny, okay? So when me and my homeboys go, whoever basically in the car pretty much pays for the food, okay? Mm-hmm. We was doing lunch at the office, whatever case. We went to Panda Express. For y'all who know what I'm finna say, y'all gonna laugh. When you go to Panda Express and you pay for your food, the food was like $12. They actually would you like to round up your money and give money to St. Jude's, to the Children's Hospital. Mm-hmm. He said, oh, no, thank you. So I didn't say nothing. I let it slide. The next time with the Panda Express, it happened again. Yeah. I said, wait a minute. This motherfucking woke, you can tell people how to do their money, but you can't give 87 cents to the Children's Hospital? Oh, shit, man, they got plenty of money. The hospital need my money. They got plenty of money. I said, Lord, have mercy. Lord, I said, boy, you are the definition of a wokey woke, boy. You are the definition of the definition. You want to spend everybody's money. You love Bernie Sanders, and you all you do is round from 12 off from 12 cents. All you do is round that shit up and get them people 88 cents. You done said no. Homeless people be outside. That nigga be having a pocket full of cash. Won't give nobody $1.
That's tough.
But everything racist. Lord have mercy. Y'all pray for the wokey wokes, man. Everything racist. I'm riding with the milk, the spam, the bologna, the noodles, all that shit. The World Series is racist. Them niggas ain't want me to win nothing.
Man, you know who I feel bad for? Mattress Mac, man. That boy put $5 million in the game. He went back and put more money on the bet a couple of days ago.
Well, he racist too. He sell mattress. He racist. That nigga racist. All his customers is black. That nigga racist too. Fuck Mattress Mac. I'm going to bed. Good night.
That's a bet prepaid. Man, look, and that's the fucked up part. I seen some people on TV hating on. I hope he lose all his money. I hope he lose all. Like, God damn, motherfuckers don't want to see you winning these days. That is unfortunate. Mattress Mac can't get no love. Look, he opened his doors before Osteen did. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, man. All right. It's always good to hear from prepaid, man. Let's get some calls in. Let's get a couple more calls in, and then man, look, the dude, right? Here's the thing, though, right? Old buddy gave the money. Robert Smith, I think they said what his cost was going to end up being about $40 million, right? And they railroaded this man. He got billions of dollars, right? This same guy here, billionaire, gave $2 million for a gender queer study class, and they're promoting him and what he did like it was just like he changed the world. Again, I'm telling you, when it comes to especially these LGBT, all this other thing, most of them all, black men are getting left out. They don't want you to be a straight black man. They don't want to see that shit. Have y'all seen these commercials? I think it's a Samsung commercial with a nigga dancing in the back of a truck in a dress. It's a commercial I retweeted the other day with this a whole nigga, and I know Miss Rashid on the line. Give me just a second, I'm gonna finish this. It's a whole nigga in there talking about when I was young, I put on my mama's dress, and what she told me was, boy, that's not your color, some goofy shit. Like, but I'm saying it's just again, it's a crazy world. But Miss Rashida, what's the motherfucker deal? How are you doing this evening?
Hey, I'm all right. What's up?
I am cool. What are your thoughts? Do you feel like milk is racist?
Milk? No, milk do a body good.
Milk does a body good.
No, I ain't say does a body good. I say do a body good. I'm black, goddamn. That's how you talk. I say milk do a body good.
Okay.
Now let me stop.
Look. Hey, you know, I ain't even gonna say nothing. So I mean, what do you?
I hadn't heard nothing about milk being racist. Shit, I guess I better catch up with the news. Shit.
Yeah, I had posted the link in the thing for those of you who hadn't seen it, but like I say, it's a crazy deal. Like I say, the allegations of racism. Again, this is what my big issue is. And again, I say it all the time. I'm never going to sit here and say there is no racism. Of course, there's going to be pockets and places and things. I'm not going to say, everybody's there. We all the world, kumbaya, let's hold hands and do all this. That's not the case. But I think there's more people who just don't give a fuck than there are people who are outright racist, who are really making a deliberate attempt to prevent you from doing shit. And then I think you have the people who are just, they need something to blame their problems on. So they're going out and they're making these outlandish accusations. Like I say, I mean, how bored do you have to be, or how out of there do you have to be to sit here and make accusations of milk being racist? I just don't see.
What I'm saying, the way I look at it is racism is a system of oppression. Mm-hmm. A lot of people, what they have is prejudice. What they have, things against certain races for whatever reason. And that ain't gonna never end. You can't dictate how people think, you know what I'm saying? But when they use that prejudice and turn it into racism, when they try to oppress you and hold you back, that's what I have an issue with. I don't care about prejudice. I care about racism, where people in positions of power use it to stop you from excel.
So you don't think Borden is out there oppressing niggas?
Huh?
So you don't think Borden is out there oppressing niggas with the cow and the flowers?
No. We come a long way tearing down the racism, oppression things in this country. It ain't gonna never be perfect. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just not. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's come down enough to where you can still make it, because it's black people always is doing better than they ever did in the past. Black people, you couldn't own shit back in the day.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got black people out here making it. You know, you got people all races out here making it. But what I want to talk about for a minute is, it ain't okay. People that's native to this country don't have the same kind of motivation as people that's coming into this country. Because when they come into this country, they come in for a reason. They don't want to go back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they got to send money home to people. You know what I mean? So they don't have that sense of, failure is not an option for them. It's not. And then if they're coming over here on a student visa or, coming over here for school, they got to maintain a certain grade point average, or they can lose what they got. You know what I'm saying? And they've been waiting so long on waiting lists and everything to come over here. Ain't nobody saying to mess that up.
I can agree
So,
with that.
we, like people in the native, like people here struggling, people there coming over here struggle, but the struggle ain't the same.
And so do you think
And
that
I
people
think,
here take
like,
it for granted?
being here, huh?
Do you think the people here take it for granted more than those?
We lazy and unmotivated, and some of us are want free shit. Period.
Okay.
We like free, and in this country, in order to get a lot of the free benefits, you can't really be making too much money. So it's like a catch-22. It's like, do I make enough money just to make it, or do I not work and get benefits that put me in the same position that if I was working?
Yeah, but I think that.
I feel like a working poor.
But like I said, I think you got a situation, and this is what I think about, especially when it comes to benefit. And I know people like that. I know it was a situation I was talking to somebody about earlier. They got a family member who was in a situation like that, getting some benefits, and they was afraid that somebody in their household, that their benefits was going to mess up their situation. But it's like, and I understand it and I get it, but then it's like, I think that mentality is like a limitation. And so what I'm saying is, like, I get it. If you're using that as a foundation for better, to do better and get better, cool. But I think that you have people who take that and say, this is what it is. This is where I'm at, and I'm cool with it. I'm not going to try to surpass this. I'm not going to try to overachieve because I don't want to miss out on this. But when in America, with a good idea, some motivation, and a little bit of proper marketing, or having a little bit of a hustle, you can surpass all of that. You got people with 1,000 friends on Facebook, but barely making it. So you tell them you can't come up with a little something and promote and sell, and recurring income. I don't care if it's food. I know people making a decent living hustling food, hustling. I knew a chick started selling some. She had a son. She was selling under the guise of her son selling, but she was selling like some type of special type of limited. I was buying that shit, but then I ended up moving, so I ain't finna go all the way across town just to buy that shit no more. But it was good while it lasted. But like little things, and I think when you do that, people will support you if you have a hustle. They see that you're trying to do something greater. But you got people who hate on you too. But it's just that I think a lot of people limit themselves with that mentality. I think they're doubting, and that's what I mean by a lot of stuff like. If you figure this is all I'm good for, if I don't know what the numbers are, but let's just say it's $1,000 a month or whatever you get in, food, and you figure this is all I'm good for, then I think you're limiting yourself in the land of opportunity where, again, everybody got a cell phone. You see motherfuckers become millionaires from goofing off on their cell phone and doing shit like that. Like, I think people need to have bigger and better ambitions for themselves. And I think a lot of people limit themselves.
Let me explain something to you. If you get a Section 8 voucher for $1,000 a month, that's going to pay your rent, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you go work a job, let's say you only skilled enough to work minimum wage, right? And you can only bring in, let's say you can bring in $1,400 a month after tax. Now that you not working, you get to keep your $1,000 voucher. Plus, you can qualify for some food stamps and for cash assistance. Plus, hustle under the table, and that's how some people work it out. So is it the people or is it the system?
I don't know. I still think it's the people. Because again, like I said, because you can benefit of
Really.
yeah,
Really.
yeah. And you're right. They do go hand in hand, but at the same time, like I say, it's depending on what your hustle is under the table, but it's just like it puts you in a situation where you become dependent on a thing, and I think that your opportunities, your it's so much more. I still think that you're putting an invisible wall around yourself for whatever else it may be. But here's the thing: I know a chick, like I said, who was making very good money, worked a very good job, and she was still, getting housed and all that other stuff. And she got a brand new truck sitting on some 24s, got a son, got a brand new car sitting on something, and then, paying the most money I've ever heard of anybody paying for car notes. But anyway, that's a whole different story. But, she's still getting her rent free, and then she's still working, making extremely good money. And so the thing is, it's just like, again, but some people hustle the system, some people,
You don't hustle up, you don't hustle backwards. You don't get worse off than you was before.
Yeah.
That's what you say you making an honest wage or whatever. That's how some people look at it.
Yeah, and I understand. Like I say, hey, you got to do what you got to do.
And then if that's what you see in your area, in your surroundings, because your peers have a lot to do with it too. So, it is what it is.
Well, I can agree with that. I just think people, don't sell yourself short, man. Play the game, and shit, come up. come up, or the real come up. Because like I say, you limited yourself in certain situations. Like I say, she's making good money, got all these, things going on for herself. But in the neighborhood you living in, and the type of character, you likely to get clipped. Just because niggas be envious of, the material.
You had your friends telling you how to get more free shit. So, you just have to change your circle. When you want to do better, you can't be around the same people.
Correct. Absolutely correct.
So,
And y'all know my thoughts on that, and that's why I say with a lot of this, that's why I've definitely disassociated from a lot of. I might have over disconnected because I cut damn near everybody off, but I gotta start finding some new circles. But I'm joking, but I'm serious.
Look, don't cut the circle so small. You the only one in it now.
Yeah, hey, sometimes it be like that. I'm telling you, look. But again, like I said, it just is what it is. Because again, it ain't no hate or no love lost, but it's just like I have a different vision, a different thing until I can, reconstruct my circle with like-minded people or people who have a higher mindset that I can grow from being around. That's just kind of where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? And so it is what it is. But I mean, if them niggas still doing the same shit they've been doing, I got no time for that. I'd be foolish to continue doing that. You know what I mean? So.
Right, but prejudiced people, they don't bother me unless they directly say something to me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really feed into that too much. But what I want to say about these poverty camps is they're not interested in solving black issues because racism is money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Money. That's how they feed themselves. By making you focus on something that's really not affecting your life. Because if black people really focus on the real issues in the black community, then we wouldn't need them. And how they gonna feed their family? How they gonna make their money?
Exactly. They gotta keep you outraged.
These people been preaching white people this and white people that for 20 or 30, 50 years. Man. You know what I mean? It's a problem. Now, we've been focused on the white people being a problem, but we still got the same issues that's being unaddressed. Now, we got to redirect the energy away from the white people. You know what I mean? Because whatever going on, the white people still doing what they do. They still out there succeed, but we fail because we're not focused right. We ain't got the energy focused in the right direction. Well, some of us, I feel, not all of us. Some of us make it, some of us not. But see, these poverty pimps and these other kind of people are really, they really the more detrimental to the black people than the white people. Because no, seriously,
No, I
because they
heard.
getting you focused on the problem. They getting you focused on the problem that's not really the problem that's holding you back, while at the same time taking your money. So now you're poorer, you know what I mean, and unfocused on what could really help your life.
Yeah. I agree.
Why they haven't started more job training programs, or different kind of things that's gonna elevate black people? You know what I mean?
You know, and I find that funny because I think about what Nipsey was doing and him being just kind of one man and all the progress that he was making, you know, in a big city like LA. And why these things, you got a lot of these communities, you got a lot of these, you know, some of these church leaders, you have some of these poverty pimps, like you're saying, they are making good money off telling you everything is messed up, you know, and some people I think are addicted to that mindset because it helps them stay stagnant. Because I look at Sean King, and this man is grifted, I don't know how much, probably close to $1 million, I'm sure. Because he attaches his name. Somebody else would be donating some money. He always, but yeah, we're giving away this money. It's like, you're not giving up nothing. It's somebody else donating the money, and then you trying to keep it if it don't way the way you want to. But again, like I say, this man got a scholarship, I think, from Oprah and got recognized by Rihanna. This man ain't done nothing but steal other people's work, steal other people's shit. He worth $3 million. Wow. And has done nothing. What can someone actually sit here and say that Sean King has done besides retweet some shit and tell you it was racist and then delete it when it turned out that wasn't the case? I mean, what has he actually done?
That's how he make his money, though. That's how he make his money. You can't fault nobody. That's his hustle. And as long as you got people blinded to what's really going on, you know what I'm saying? Because the worst thing you could be is dumb and poor. You know what I mean? Because people is going to take advantage of you. And what they're doing is they taking advantage of people. That's why I don't too much really get into all the church stuff, because I feel like they're taking advantage of poor people.
Yeah.
You see that you want 10% of nothing, because you see these people barely can make their rent, and you want 10% of that, and they can't even hardly afford to feed their family and everything. But they so blinded by their faith that God gonna bless them with the rest, and they just give it and hope somehow it's gonna drop in their lap the rest of what they need, and that's what I don't like. I don't like it at all.
Yeah.
And then when you speak on it, they want to say you the devil and you this and you that. I ain't the devil. I'm just saying things how I see them. I ain't got to do no blind shit. You know.
Okay. I can't.
One day they'll wake up.
Yeah.
One day they'll wake up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All you got to do, and that's the funny thing, because you ain't even got to be black no more to get the black hustle on. Just get a little low cut fade, get your little one on top or whatever. Throw you some glasses on, the woke glasses.
All you got to do to start a church is just say the white people is the devil, and they're gonna come running in there. You're gonna have 1,000 members in a week.
Yeah.
The white people is the reason y'all can't do this. The white man is the reason y'all can't do this. The white man.
That sounds like a rap song.
It is, right.
Man.
And I'm not saying there's not issues of racism or prejudice. I mean, there is, you know. I'm not blinded to that. And I don't think nobody should be blind to what's going on with racism, you know.
Word. I wonder if T.I. going to Sean King for Halloween. I mean, all we got to do is put glasses on. That's a cheap and easy costume. But I agree, man. I definitely think that when you give people crutches and excuses, you know, it's something that you tell them, hey, look, man, you take a little bit of effort, you can shine. No, the reason why I can't. Look, it's.
I have never seen white people come into the hood to stop black folk from organizing to help other black folks. I ain't never seen them do that. So, you know, Cut the bullshit. Y'all they don't really do what they should do in the black community. People that can help, you know what I mean?
Well, remember, niggas was mad when they came in and they was cleaning up in Baltimore. They went to a couple other places after that. Niggas was talking about robbing for coming and cleaning up the neighborhood. Like that's crazy. That's a sick mindset. You know what I'm saying? Like you can listen to the man who looked like you, who basically stabbing you in the back. Or the man who being up front with you in your face. Yeah, and take it, but the man who being up front with you don't want nothing from you just for you to be better for yourself, but you don't want to hear that. It just, like I say, it's crazy. Shannon, get out, Shannon. I'm glad you came through, Shannon. Appreciate it.
But one thing I would like to see a change in is making these prisoners' records follow them to jobs, because that is kind of hindering them from doing better. If you done went to jail to serve your time, you know what I mean, then that shouldn't keep being held against you to stop you from making a better, having a better job. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times these prisoners come out and then they have to work for minimum wage. And a lot of them be like, fuck this shit, I was making more hustling, I'm going to go back to that. So in a way, we have to find a way to encourage them instead of keep hindering them, depending on what the crime was. You know what I mean? These little petty crimes and stuff, it shouldn't hinder you for the rest of your life. You know what I mean?
Well, yes, Heidi, I will continue to talk about race until you clear. I want you to clear that past that first 10 million. Then I'm gonna vote Democrat, and we're gonna tax your ass 70%, and that's gonna come to my pocket. But yeah, I agree. I agree with that on the thing, and just telling from personal experience and things like that, man. Look, I'm a firm believer. Like once you do the crime and you do the time and you handle your business, I think that. I won't say all records need to be sealed, because I think there's certain things that need to be adjusted, but I think that, the court system should still have access to your records. If you get pulled over, they should still have access to your records. But I think that with certain employers, again, I understand, because if you're a fucking thief or you didn't pull some type of corporate espionage or embezzlement or something, that's certain things that people need to know. But and if you're violent, you got a short term. It's just certain things you know. But I think that there needs to be a change, because that's the truth. Trust me, man. It was like I said, I've dealt with some things, and I was on the brink of being like, man, fuck this dumb shit, because I'm going and working at these rinky dink ass places because it just is what it is. The only opportunities I was getting. I had jobs, like I say, in construction and shit. I get on. Then just for whatever reason they follow up, do a secondary background check or whatever, and we decided we got to let you go. Not that I did anything, not for any particular reason, because like I say, when I get on, I'm trusting, man. When I work, I bust my ass. But just because, like I say, even when I went to the dollar store, I was working at that whole ass dollar store, but because that bitch was getting robbed, because they ain't never put no security in that bitch, they did a follow up, redid the background check, and we got to let you go. Not because of anything in my personal work stuff. And so, like I said, I understand it. But at the same time, it's a tough process. I lost a lot along the way. I mean, trust me, went through a lot of shitty shit dealing with that shit. And I'm talking about, there was many days I was on, man, fuck this shit. I would make, in a couple of hours, what I'm finna make a month at this motherfucking bitch. And why? But because I believe and I wanted something great. I mean, it takes a strong will not to go back and do that. But if you got kids, if you got other things going on, like I said, I lost everything because I made some promises. But it's just like, you can lose. I mean, and if you're on the brink, you're about to lose your house, you're about to lose everything you didn't work for. A lot of people gonna go right back to that behavior, man. So
exactly, that's what I'm saying. We got to encourage the good behavior. That's why they went and served their time. You can't keep making people pay for something and then they don't already went to jail for it, but then you want to follow them 10 more years and make them have to pay jobs for minimum wage. You know what I mean? That's not right either.
I agree.
You have to give people opportunities. You know what I mean? If they don't serve their time, that's what they're supposed to get their second chance.
Yeah, I agree. But like I say, it's just kind of up to you to keep fighting, keep pushing, and find something. Eventually, if you're really trying to make something shake, people will see it and opportunities will come. So you just gotta You just gotta keep going with it.
Yeah, they'll come at $8 an hour.
But you gotta come with and then you gotta come with a side hustle. I mean, that's just it is what it is. Like I say, trust me, I definitely understand it. Trust me, it is. Hold on, wait, baby, hold on. Did you hung up on me? See how she do me? See how she do me? She hung up on me. Didn't want to. Didn't even want to let me tell myself. See how Miss Rashida do me. Let me see. I'm finna make one call. I see. I did have a missed call, so I'm gonna make one call here. This will be the last call of the evening, and they better answer. Otherwise, there's gonna be consequences and repercussions in this motherfucker. Let's see. Is the number in here? Hold on. Let me check. I guess I gotta type it in manually. See, y'all making me do too much work. Tell y'all, H-Town, y'all don't understand. Like, for those of y'all who don't know, before I make this call, and the person who texted me earlier, that's one for the call. So if you're still listening, be prepared. I'm gonna call you shortly. Y'all gotta understand, man. It's super tough because I got two channels. I got the Den Show, the Den Channel, and I have Soft Sports. And during football season, during basketball season, when all these, like, I try to really go all into the Den. Like I said, it's just been these last few weeks, couple of days too. It's just been a lot more other stuff going on, so I haven't been pushing or able to push the content out like I want to. But like I said, I should be back good tomorrow on that. But I'm telling y'all, stuff like this, and I don't even really cover the Astros, right? I don't even really cover the Astros. Like, you know, Hector talks about that. We've been doing that on Soft Sports TV. But it's tough. It's tough, man. It's tough to do to talk about H-Town stuff. Because one, they be mad because I be super negative. Oh, you just negative on. I'm not negative on the Texans, man. I'm just being honest, man. And so it's tough, man, because it always ends up relatively depressing. So there's that. But then I fuck with the Den. The Den is always good. The Den is always live. Like, no matter what the topic is, you know, because y'all gonna be on some. I could be talking about one thing completely different with somebody on the phone. The chat is going to be talking about something completely different, and then, you know, it's a lot of shit going on. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the thing that makes the Den super cool. The Soft Sports is one or two things happening. Either if it is a win or something is positive, you know, everybody on that, and then somebody, well, y'all said, so somebody gonna bring, so the opposite side gonna bring the negativity. Or if it's a loss, if we talking about negative, or we just being constructive criticism, all y'all doing is hating, all y'all doing is this, and all y'all doing is that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lose-lose. Cut this dilly-dally off. What's to be cynical about? Come on, man. Did you really feel good? I mean, if it wasn't for Deshaun Watson at Raiders game, hello. And I'll give you that point, Roger, because you did say as long as you got Deshaun Watson, but that's a sad state of affairs. This man got his eye poked out. He had to reattach his eyeball and shit to finish the game. If you don't have Deshaun Watson, this is a terrible team. What's the motherfucking deal, Miss Ashley? I was returning your call. I saw that I had a missed call from you, and so I said, hey, let me call Ashley back, because it's always a good call when we speak with Miss Ashley. So how are you doing this evening?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. So, do you drink milk?
Do I drink milk?
Yes. Okay. So, do you think milk? I would take it that you don't think milk is racist.
No.
Okay. So, why would somebody say that?
Just looking for attention.
That's terrible. So I mean, has society gotten that desperate to find these situations that they're just making anything up now, or I mean, what do you think that we've gone this far? The math thing. I don't know if we got your opinion on the math thing, but like we talked about math being racist. We talked about, you know, this being called racist, and
About what being called racist?
what happened about the milk and the math? Eminem, milk and math. being called racist.
Well, that's so stupid. Those both are stupid.
But you have people, and this is what scares me though, especially with the math thing, is you have educators, teachers, who are pushing this. And these are the people who are teaching your kids. These are the people your kids look up to because they are the next authority figure that they come in contact with outside of the home is, generally the teacher. You teach your kids to respect the teachers and all this other stuff, but then they're telling the kids that, well, you can't succeed, not because I'm doing a piss poor job as a teacher, but you can't succeed because math is inherently racist and that's why you're going to fail. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I had kind of brushed up on an article when you had said it, and what I got from it was that they're basically taking a course, and then they're gonna teach a section or whatever on how math is oppressive to ethnic people.
So
I don't think they're necessarily taking math out.
But what I'm saying is, but do you think it's oppressive? Do you think it's oppressive to ethnic people, or do you think that's an excuse?
It's testing, yes.
All right, Miss Brenda, appreciate you.
But it's not. What?
No, I was saying, Miss Brenda. Thank you for coming on. I was giving a proper goodbye. I apologize for that. But what were you saying? I'm sorry.
No, I said I think standardized testing. That is yeah. It's oppressive, or it's not necessarily oppressive, but it could be.
Hold on one second. I saw Miss Bell. Apologize for that, Miss Bell. I didn't see it come up. Usually, I say if you're on hold, it'll automatically come up, but no additional call came up, so I apologize for that. So you don't think it's necessarily oppressive? You think it's more a lack of effort or a lack of versatility in teaching? How do you fix that problem?
How do you fix what?
If the teachers make a move to start teaching the children that, math is oppressive, I think that instills a poor belief. Like, how do you fix that? Do you think the parents should go along with this, or the parents should be, outraged? I mean, is this something that, we get false outrage about everything else. Shouldn't this be something that they should be upset about?
I don't think they're taking math out.
But no, I'm not saying they're taking it. I'm not saying that they're taking the math out. But what I'm saying is teaching your children that the reason that you don't really do good in math is because math it's biased towards black people or minorities instead of being qualified.
I don't think they're saying math. I think they're saying standardized testing.
Okay. Do you think standardized testing is biased?
Yes, and that's been proven.
Rip_Van_Winkle donated $3. Astros won in 2017, so it's not all doom and gloom in Houston. And I am woke.
Van Winkle. Yeah, I'm not tripping on the Astros. But why do you think? How is standardized testing racist?
It isn't racist. It's just biased because it's catered toward a certain demographic, but it's not the demographic of all who are taking it.
But why? See, that's something I've never understood. So maybe you've looked into it. Something I've never come because it just never really made sense to me. Could you explain how that's a thing? Like, how does it benefit one demographic more so than the other?
It doesn't benefit one different demographic more so than the other. It's just the language that they use for the actual test is different than the language of the people that are taking the test. So it's not necessarily a thinking barrier. It's just the way that it's worded.
So you're saying like proper English versus Ebonics?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. So how much of that has to do with teaching the kids proper English as opposed to it being a barrier or a hindrance?
I mean, yes, they should, but just like they do for the kids that don't actually speak English, or the kids that are disabled, or that the kids that are, have other types of boundaries, they go above and beyond for those kids, but they don't necessarily do it for these kids.
Okay. Were you good at standardized testing?
Yes.
I can tell. And I would say myself, I did pretty well on the standardized tests. Was never an issue. So that's why I guess it's hard to comprehend that this is a thing. So how much? I mean, really. Let me word this properly. Unlike the standardized tests. Who is the real blame on? Is the blame on so say they did change. Excuse me. I had to cut myself off camera. So they did change the wording. So doesn't that just kind of reinforce bad English? If we say we change it to suit this, because I remember there was a thing a while back. This was a while back that a teacher, and it's crazy that this is a thing. It was a teacher who basically changed a lot of his math around. So basically, like the worksheets and stuff, instead of it being, Billy has 13 apples and Susie took 2 apples and gave him 3 oranges. How much fruit does he have, or something like that? The man actually changed the shit to basically guns and drug references, and he saw the scores in his class go up. Nothing different, but he just changed the shit from random items to basically guns, drugs, and urban references, and the shit went up. So what does that say about the teaching method? Is it is it the teaching method, or is it the people? And that's where I start to question it. Is like, why should it have to be these odd things that we associate with to catch our attention, as opposed to fucking just learning the shit?
Well, he could have just as easily used gumdrops. Or, something else, but he chose to use ethnic items, probably because he's a racist.
But he started out using regular stuff, and he changed. He didn't just start off the school year doing it. His students were struggling with the curriculum.
Did he try? I don't. Hold on.
All right.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, what?
But I'm saying, but if he tried one thing and it wasn't working, then he saw just a switch in the language that was associated with the math, and he saw an improvement in scores. What does that say? If he's not teaching anything different, if he's not changing it up, but just using the items in which he's referencing,
but if he automatically goes to ethnic items, he's a fucking racist. But whatever, it works.
But that's what I'm saying. But why would that work? So is it his fault for doing something that catches the kid's attention?
He could have said baseball or something normal, and he didn't, because he's a racist asshole.
But if he started off like that, but he started off using regular items. This is what I'm saying. He started off using common everyday shit. Then he said that
like
once I don't know. I don't have the paperwork, but he said that he switched kind of changed the paperwork from saying, apples, candy, regular school shit, frisbees and shit, goofy shit. And he changed it to bullets and guns and stuff like this. And the kids actually paid more attention and their grades did better. So is it...
Well, because it's crazy. Why would a teacher even talk to you like that?
Because he's trying to communicate with the kids. We know that there's a disconnect between, there's a lot younger teachers nowadays, but at a certain age, there's a disconnect between...
Of basketball, you could have done that. Like, you're going to go to guns inside of a school, and then you're going to claim, I would have said, extreme thing that I'm doing. It's grasping their attention. That would grasp anybody's attention, because why is a teacher talking about guns?
But what I'm saying is, because this is what the kids want. If you're teaching in an urban area, and again, I wish I could recall. Like I said, this was probably over a decade. He got fired for doing this shit. This was a while back. But what I'm saying is, if you're teaching in an area and you come in to class and say you're a mid-40s white male and you're teaching a bunch of 15, 16-year-olds or whatever the age group was, and all you hear them talking about is rap music and some movie that, whatever the latest hood movie is or whatever. I think if you put 2 and 2 together, well, what I'm teaching them is not connected. They don't care about these baseballs, and I'm sure there's been references in class, so this is stupid or that is stupid. What do we need to know? Trust me, I've heard some niggas say some ignorant shit. I've heard not just niggas, I've heard a lot of people say ignorant shit, but I'm just saying, in various classes. And what, man, what the fuck? baseball's got to do with shit. They'll be more worried about instead of, hey, this is just an item to represent
Well,
something.
if I was 16 or 17, you're not going to be. I was doing simple math.
I mean,
Like,
hey, man, come on, come on now. There were some special individuals.
What?
Come on, that there were some special individuals
Right. So
in these. I don't. Like I said, I don't. Don't let me misquote the situation because it could have been a junior. Like I say, it was a long time ago but I remember hearing this story. So like I say, it could have been, middle school somewhere, it could have been remedial high school. I don't know. But all I'm saying is that all he was trying to do, in my opinion, was find a way to connect with the kids to keep their attention. If they come in this motherfucker talk about guns and drugs and bullshit, and so you put the guns and drugs and bullshit into the homework or the paperwork or whatever, then that may be able to hold their attention just for a few more minutes. The shock that he's actually talking may hold their attention for a few more minutes. And if doing that helps them focus enough to, get and grasp the work, then is he wrong for it? Or are they wrong for not being able to pay attention to what he was presenting them initially?
I mean, it just depends. What point are you trying to get to?
But what I'm saying is just saying that I don't blame the standardized tests. I blame the low standards that we have for ourselves. Hey, this is how most people talk. Most people.
What's better, like something that's proven, or
What do you say? Well, what I mean, but my thing is it can be proven, but to me, all that it's proving, like the standardized testing is proving, is that we're not focusing on making sure these kids understand proper English.
Yeah, but we are the collective. You can't go to one area and say, oh, yeah, that's how everyone is.
But I think that there's MLA or whatever the format. That's the bibliography shit. But there's a standard format for the English language. I think punctuation is the same everywhere, phrases, whatever, I ain't been in English class in a long time, and I'm not even trying to recall the proper terminology. But what I'm saying is there's a standard across the board for English and learning English. And so what I'm saying is that we're not enforcing that in these schools. That's why I'm not with that whole, no child left behind or whatever. If you don't pass the grade, your ass need to be left behind. Shit, because again, like I said, we're pushing these low standards and saying, "Oh, it's acceptable. You did good enough. Hey, that's good enough." Man, look, if your ass gonna be 23 and you still in the 8th grade, shit, well, it is what it is. To drop out or fucking learn the shit, because it's just, well, you're old enough. We're gonna pass you. That's no excuse.
That must be in extremely poverty-stricken areas, I don't know any schools or any places where they're like that.
Where they're like what?
Where the teacher has to dumb it down that much. To where the students actually pay attention. That just sounds stupid.
Yeah, I think you'd be surprised. A lot of these kids that get pushed through, and I think a lot of it is not just.
Oh, I know a lot of kids. I do know a lot of kids get pushed through, but still, the same way how if they know that people are failing because they speak this way, and by the time they get to 12th grade, that because of the way that they talk, they're not going to do as well on a certain test, just like they do for the foreign kids that come in that don't speak English. They get private tutors for each language. They make it to where those kids, they bring them up to the same level. They do all that for those kids, but they don't do that for these kids. So I blame school.
Okay. That's interesting. So, because somebody made a good point there.
That's not interesting. That's crazy. That's what they do. They don't treat American kids at all.
But what I'm saying is, somebody made a point. Said the Africans come over here and pass those same standardized tests. The Asians and Indians too. And y'all know I compare everything to Asians because the reason why I compare everything to Asians is because Asians, I've never heard Asians complain about racism or any of these things. They just get in here and they fucking take over. And so that's why I compare that a lot because.
Right. What I'm saying over to these schools legally, the school has to give them a way to communicate. They have private tutors. Like, yes, their parents are diligent about them learning and whatever they catch on, but the schools have to have a way. They basically have a private person for them per student so they can succeed. They don't do that for kids that they know aren't going to do well based on the way that they're talking at home. I just don't think that's fair.
Okay. But so I don't know, man. Like I said, I just don't. Again, I don't know. I know they do have, the secondary classes and all those things to help, other students learn and do those things. But at a point, there has to be a priority to want to. And I think that's part of when you're pushing kids through. If they don't have the proper understanding, they don't have the proper way of communicating or a base level understanding. I don't know. It's just hard for me to blame that on the standardized testing. To say,
I mean, it's not all the standardized testing. It's parents. It's the education that they're receiving. Just nobody cares, which is sad. But I mean, this is America, and not everybody is meant to be on top. You have to want it. Not saying that, but everybody deserves a chance, Well, they should definitely have better teachers, but.
Okay. Yeah, like I say, it was something that happened. And me and my old lady, we were arguing because she says I'm too harsh on shit because there was a video that was put out and there were a bunch of kids and they were learning about long division. And I'm assuming they're about 7, 8, 9 years old, something like that. And the teacher, I guess, made it into a little song and she had the kids go into the board to, do the stuff. And they had like a little method, divide, multiply, break it down, bring it back. Something I forgot how the little song went. But in between like doing all the methods, they're up there doing these dances and doing all of these things. And I was not too keen on it. And she was like, she didn't see a big deal about it. But my personal thing is, why do we always have to relate stuff to dancing and then doing all this other stuff? Because you ain't finna get to dance and know. But I think the song is catchy. I think the song is cool. But just all the dancing and doing all the other showboating type shit, just to do some divisional problems, I thought was a bit excessive. But I guess for whatever works. But she says I'm a hater. I hate everything black. But I don't think that's the case. I just feel like to win, to compete in a very competitive world, you got to hold your standards higher. But yet people are telling you, oh, it's okay. There's no problem with doing this and doing that. And I have an issue with that because to me, that puts you at the bottom of the pecking order. And once you co-sign that type of shit, you co-sign that type of belief, you can't complain about everybody else succeeding, winning, and doing this and doing that when you've allowed yourself and those like you to sit at the bottom of the rung and say, hey, this is good enough, So I have my own little issues with that. But
well, those people definitely don't speak to me.
Look, I know you love the poverty pimps. I know you rooting for Sean King. I heard you gave money to his GoFundMe.
I don't even think he's a black person.
He is definitely not a black person. There's not even. He had a mullet. Like they had pictures of him, his mom, his dad, him in like junior high school, even high school. I think the motherfucker had a mullet, like a real live mullet. I don't know no niggas with hair like that. As good as niggas be saying their hair is, niggas ain't got mullet hair. Okay, not without no chemical connection and some other shit. Not even it still ain't gonna sit like that. Sean King is a white guy. It is what it is. But because people are so desperate to need that savior, save us and point us and tell us everything is wrong, motherfuckers been supporting and lining this dude's pockets, and it is what it is.
I don't like Tariq Nasheed either.
You don't like Tariq? I thought you were a Tariq fan.
No, I love Dr. Umar, even though I think like kind of crazy.
Sean King had a man. Let me see if I can pull this shit up for y'all. I'm dropping on the screen live real quick. Sean King had a real live mullet, and people were putting that shit. People just did not want to believe. No, he's black. This dude had a mullet for real, for real. But you say so? You think that he's kind of smoozy? You say?
That who?
You said that you feel like Dr. Umar is kind of a smooth.
Crazy?
Oh, you think he's crazy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like he's going crazy. It seems like. But then maybe he's not. It's probably just clips on YouTube.
I mean, it could be. You know, they're trying to cancel him.
Like,
you know, when you're trying to fight getting canceled, you know, you might go a little crazy.
Oh my goodness. No, but he's good. I like his message. He's crazy. What was he talking about the other day? Oh my god. He was like, white daddy. I can't even say it.
You say what did he say? And that, you know, they're using it. They're using his term now. The suspected white supremacist.
No, he was like white daddy.
Oh, talking about King DJ HIV.
Yeah, but he wasn't like necessarily. He just always says that. Like whenever he sees like a mixed couple and the woman's black, he'll be like white daddy.
Yeah, dude.
It's so fucking weird. I think he's good.
Tariq is questionable. What's that term he used to use? Moist. Yeah. He said moist is the term that he would always use to describe effeminate men. So there's that. There goes Savage Donald Trump over there putting candy on the minions' heads. I thought that shit was hilarious. People just he's trolling the kid. Oh, fuck that minion. God damn it. And then did you see that when President Trump put the candy bar on the little costume of the minion? Have you seen that clip? Well, it was super funny. And then the funniest part about it is because then Melania did the same shit. Like, she looked at it, she put the candy bar on it. I was like, this shit is fucking crazy. That shit's fucking funny as shit to me. But to each their own. Okay. Yes, but that's Sean King with that sweet mullet right there. So, you know, but that's if y'all say he's black, that's cool.
Emily's black.
What happened?
I said he has a black wife and kids. That's the only thing black about.
Sean, oh well, I mean he has to. He has to sell the dream. But meanwhile he's scamming black women out of their work and taking credit for it. But you know, it is what it is. You know, I mean, if people want to follow that shit, they want to believe that shit, go for it. I'm not falling for the okie doke.
I never heard he was a scammer.
He was a super scammer. He was a A1 grifter. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sean King would be on Matt Barnes and Steve Jobs. But that's what I'm saying. But see, that's the problem though, right there. Is niggas keep giving him a platform. Stop giving this motherfucker a platform to listen to. Like, stop listening to this motherfucker. Like, period. You know what I'm saying? When the other scammer basically called him a scammer, that's how you know he was a super scammer. God damn, I always forget his name. The fucking Planet of the Apes jacket dude.
Yeah, the Apes jacket.
The dude in the Planet, D-Ray. Yeah, D-Ray. There you go. Appreciate that prepaid. Huh?
D-Ray, the comedian?
No, not that D-Ray. D-Ray, the little gay dude who popped up around Ferguson.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, okay.
But he always wore that little blue jacket, like a little blue vest jacket thing. I don't know. Anyway, but he's a scammer too. He's basically a fraud. Because the dude who was really out there around Ferguson on the ground, get it in, they killed him. But he was
really?
Yeah, he was. I think his name was Darren Seals or something like that, or Darren. I think Darren something. And he was telling him, "Dreamer, what's the motherfucking deal, man?" And he was saying that he was basically telling what was really going on, but then the D-Ray dude was out there scamming and shit, basically acting like he was out there getting it in. He was just taking money and being gay. So, you know, it is what it is. The puppet that Tariq. Why the fuck is Tariq always making some damn puppets, man? That nigga had a puppet about Tommy Sotomayor. I ain't gonna lie, that shit was fucking with this nigga. The nigga need to be a goddamn ventriloquist instead of doing all that other shit.
He's so annoying.
Who, Tariq? Or Tommy?
No, Tommy.
Why is...
Are you...
What's wrong with Tommy?
I can't fucking stand him.
What's wrong with Tommy? See, I ain't gonna lie. I understand why black women hate Tommy Sotomayor. I get it. I understand it. But what you gotta do is you can't, well, unless the shit he talk about apply to you, I guess, and that's another thing. But you can't take the shit personally, huh?
What?
I said, but you can't take the things that Tommy says. But Tommy's funny as shit. I agree. Tommy is hilarious. He's bitch made, but he's hilarious. Because, like I said, I really stopped fucking with Tommy. Like I said, when he got in that argument with that chick over that accident. But then, like I say, when Tariq hit him when Vlad set him up, that's how y'all need to know Vlad is. Because I think Vlad set him up on that little interview, and Tariq ran up on him, and this nigga was holding, "Come on, man, stop playing," with the little wrestling belt and shit. "Stop playing, dog. Come on, chill out. Stop playing, dog." That's why I was like, oh, Tommy. Then he went to New York, and one of them niggas stole off on him. This nigga called, I think he called the cops on him. Then he got in the taxi. Yeah, see, you know, if I'd whoop that nigga ass, you know, if you know, when I had all them niggas around him, I'd whoop that nigga ass. But he stole me, but his homeboys was there, so I ain't have to. I'm not in my place, you know. I'm not stupid, and I'm like, it is what it is, you know what I mean? But I get it. I don't believe in attacking the motherfucker for him having his opinions. You can just disagree with his opinions, but the man is fucking funny. But I understand, because I know his prime angle is kind of attacking black women for the most part, and ghetto shit. And
No, I said right. He is doing that. I think he's doing it just for kicks. Because I watched another guy that does that too, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, I should get a YouTube channel and start bashing black people just for the fuck of it.
you mean
because
you could? You mean you really could?
Not that I'm the other shit. But I'm like, what the heck? Like, these idiots.
But I mean,
love a good bitch.
But see, but that's the thing. But that's what a lot of people do. Like I said, there's a lot of these YouTubers that have big, huge followings, and to me, they're kind of questionable. Who's the other one? Who was the Cynthia G chick? And she was Cynthia Sin, something like that. Cynthia G. She used to. Well, it ain't nothing. But she used, huh?
Did she used to be with Boyce Watkins or something?
I have no idea. I've only seen her shit, and she's like a funny looking little motherfucker. But she would always talk shit, you know, about white people and all this other stuff. And then, you know, somebody was talking about, well, you know, you wear a whole bunch of weave and you do this, and then she validated that because she was just kind of weird looking. But then they was talking about how she would talk bad about like men and some other shit. And then they talking about she got a shitty baby dad, like they exposed her for having like a shitty baby daddy or something like that. And then
I think I know. I think I know who that is. Yeah, I saw her. Or I mean, I used to. And
then, like I say, the other dude, what's his name? At Vibe Show, you know, they tried to cancel him because he always talked about the black thing, but I think his wife is like Hispanic or something like that, and so they was mad about that. So like I said, yeah, so they get mad about everything, man. You know, so. Ain't nothing you can do. It's always gonna be an L. You can't please everybody. You just gotta do your own thing. Cynthia G can't be taken seriously. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But people love it. Man, it's some people who have followings here that people just, you know, swear up and down. But I've watched these people. I've watched them in the past. I'm just like, I don't know. I can't be that. I couldn't be that person. Because like to me, a lot of this shit is an image. It's a client. Like if I wanted to hardcore play one role and just talk about the same thing. That's what a lot of people want. There's certain topics that people want to talk about over and over and over and over and over again. And definitely that's how you blow. That's definitely how you grow up when you have a niche and stuff like that. But to me, there's just so many things to talk about. I don't want I want to talk about the same shit every fucking day. Even though we tend to come around, we tend to come back to the same shit a lot. But it's just certain shit. You know, I want to have that option for variety open. You know what I'm saying? But again, like I say, you just have certain people. They know a niche. They see it. Like that's what I think Phil does personally. I don't think he feels the way he really feels. I think that he pushes that shit because it's a hustle. Same thing I feel about what's his name, Derek Jackson. It's a hustle. I'm not mad at you. I'm not knocking your hustle. Do your thing.
That guy who like talks to ladies.
Yeah.
I guess he's like a woman beater.
Is a woman beating? Word? That's tough.
Yeah, and that's for somebody to get an abortion. Are we talking about the same guy that posts those messages on IG?
I don't know if he does. I mean, I don't know if he does on IG. I think he might be on IG too or Twitter. I don't know.
Or he's just like talking to ladies like, oh, men aren't shit.
Yeah, but he's always in the car though. He's always in the fucking car for some reason. But it is what it is, man. So.
Have you noticed that the commercials on YouTube? Like, there's a lot of commercials about like weird scam websites. I don't know, whatever. But they're always showing like off there like an article of clothing in the beginning. It's so fucking weird.
I hadn't noticed that. I really don't pay attention to the commercials.
Yeah,
I always get the man soap commercials with that one dude. Those soap commercials are fucking hilarious though. But I get those fucking commercials, and I get that's another bull. I usually get that in the Grammarly commercials. That's what I always get. It's the fucking soap commercial where the dude's like, "Yeah, this fucking soap is made from all this stuff," but the fucking it's funny. The dude who does, 'cause I think he does a glasses commercials too. His fucking commercials are pretty funny. But I get that, and then like I said, I get Grammarly fucking commercials, and that's it. Who the fuck is Robert Perkins? How y'all be knowing all this shit? Yeah. No, I'm saying, how y'all be knowing all these people info? Look, I'm gonna put Scotty in witness protection. Y'all gonna be exposing Scotty on the internet soon. Putting my dog info all out there. Man, I cut Scotty the other day. I meant to tell y'all that. I think I did a pretty good job. Considering the last time I cut his ass, I almost knocked his whole fucking ear off. He actually looks pretty decent this time. I gave him the little schnauzer. It's amazing the shit that you can fucking learn on YouTube. Like, I'm fucking paying $60 to $80 to go take this motherfucker to the groomer. I did that same shit myself, and I watched the little video. It was like a 20-minute video. I watched about 5 minutes of the damn 20-minute video, and just improvised from there. Shit, I think he looked halfway decent. You know, I gotta get my scissor work down, but I think, I ain't wanna. He was tired. I ain't feel like finishing it up, but he looked pretty good for the most part. So now I know I can do that shit. Like I said, it don't take that long. I just keep him trimmed down before he get too hairy. Fucking save my fucking money. Spend it on some other bullshit. Oh man. You watched the high school highlights? You went to that video? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They are fucking on VHS, and they terrible. I think I took the ones I think I got posted. I fucking I had to re-edit those, so I got it off of VHS. That's when they would take forever to put the VHS and transfer it to DVD. That shit was still grainy as shit, and then that shit just it looks terrible. Actually, and the music was horrible. I think I changed the music on there. I think I did. I think I changed the music on the one that was put up. Yeah, it was horrible. The worst shit ever. 180p. That shit was filled with a block of cheese. Okay, yeah. Now I've gone way off the rails. So, anything else that's on your mind, there, Miss Ashley?
No.
Okay. Well, I'm going to have a very controversial topic tomorrow. Man,
what's it going to be about?
I'm not going to tell you, but I want you to be there because I think that you will. Have an opinion on it.
What?
I think that you will definitely have an opinion on it.
It must be about gay people.
No.
Well, for interracial relationships or gay people in interracial relationships.
That'd be real bad. I'd be pushing all the buttons there. No, it has nothing to do with gay people or interracial relationships. Well, I don't think it has anything to do with interracial relationships. So, yeah. But all right, Miss Ashley. Well, I appreciate you taking my call, and we'll be talking to you very soon.
All right. Thanks for calling.
All right. You have a good evening.
You too. Bye.
All right. I can't help it. I like talking to Miss Ashley. Miss Ashley, she's going to say something that's going to set it off. That's why I love it. But here's the deal. All right. So, like I told y'all, I'm starting this scheduling thing on the 1st. So, we're going to be having all these late night. Well, maybe on the weekends we'll do more extended in. So, I'll try to save extended in topics for that, depending on what. But during the week, I'm finna get it tightened up, and I'm finna take my ass back to this fucking. I'm gonna go get me a gym membership on the 1st. I got a challenge with my old lady to see who loses the most weight by the fucking end of the month. And so the deal is I forgot what I gotta do. I gotta do something. I gotta buy her something. I forgot. No, I'm sure it'll come up whenever it comes up. And then if I win, she gonna buy me these shoes I've been wanting to get. I've been debating. Man, did I miss something? And do they bring like the Troners back at some point in time? You know what I'm saying? Where's the free job? I've been hearing you talk about the free job, but where is that at? Okay, Miss Bell, I definitely love to hear it. I wish it was a box of chocolates. Yes, a box of chocolate. Well, here's the thing. I'm fronting her. I'm spotting her. I think like 5 pounds or something like that. So something of that sort. But I probably end up showing her more love. I might, cause see, my thing is, I can cheat, honestly. Cause y'all know me. I'll go fucking a week and won't eat shit just to say I win. See, look at what's this double standard. I win by default because I'm a man. Let me see. How is that fair? How is that a thing? You know what I'm saying? Mary. You talking? You trying to send me to the Katie Hood? Hold on, let me. That don't even exist. You say Mary Jo Pizza Park. Let me check that out. But the only reason I'm saying this is because it's not too far from this, just a couple of minutes away. So I'm start trying to hit that bitch at like 5 in the morning, so it ain't crowded, ain't packed up. Cause I just gotta get on some weights, man. I ain't like some real weights. Cause even when I was at the other spot, they only had the fucking like dumbbells and a couple of machines. Them hoes only went up to like 50 pounds on the dumbbells, and that shit wasn't cutting it. And I think I did too many. I won't say too many reps, but it was just I'm doing a lot of repetitive shit. And so I can actually give me a real live workout, 4 days a week, and then I got to get myself on that fucking track. I hate fucking cardio, man. Like I hate that shit with a passion, but I know it's very necessary. So I might have to get out here and get with one of these young bucks. You know what I'm saying? These young bucks might be smelling themselves. I gotta get my endurance back up. Let me see. I got you, Miss Grace. Let me hook Miss Grace up with some stuff, with some pistachios. But man, those weights are terrible. The worst fucking weights. You crack them hoes, it's a wrap. I'd say testosterone makes you lose weight faster. It sounds like excuses to me, buddy. I don't know. Sounds like a lot of excuses. You see, look at y'all. Y'all over there caving for Lady Honcho. Don't even know Lady Honcho. Y'all trying to take her for it. This is BS. We'll see what's up. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's why I say I'd rather go early before it's like I say, before it's too wild or anything like that, and then get that shit out the way. It's just that fucking track is. I gotta stop crying about it. I can't mean not crying about it. I just gotta do it. Cause every time I pass by that bitch, I be seeing motherfuckers. I be seeing motherfuckers way bigger than me. I be looking at myself, shaking my head. Look at you, Honcho. Look at these people. They're out on that track. They power walking like a motherfucker. So yeah, I gotta get on that shit. I gotta get more active, man. I definitely gotta get more active. We'll see what's up. Miss Bell say 15%. Let me see. We'll see. Like I said, we got the first of the bet starts on the first, so you know, I'm gonna just look. I'm gonna say I'm just be eating salads and shit, and it's gonna be terrible. It's gonna be real terrible. But I ain't tripping. Like I said, I just need to get back under some iron. That's really all it is. I got you, Miss Bell. That's the thing I miss more than anything. Just it's something about lifting weights that it's something about lifting weights. Ain't nothing quite like it. I couldn't tell you the last time I've been under a barbell. The fucking dumbbell presses, they cool, but they don't quite do it. And I need a leg press. I gotta get these legs back up. Can't be missing leg day and shit, you know. But like I say, once I get tightened back up, what I really do want to do, I do want to find like a some kind. I don't know. I have no idea what kind, but I do want to take some kind of comp. I don't know if maybe jiu-jitsu. I've been seeing it's a bunch of those. It's a Gracie gym I saw not that far from here. I don't know if they really Gracie or not. And then some type of something. Just something to where you got to have some resistance, you know. A little altercation daily. That's what I need. That's what I want to do. So that's what I'm on. Take a dance, but no, player. Only dancing I do is the two-step. What was that dance? The chicken head back in the Gap. But here's the deal. I appreciate all of y'all. I thank all of you for showing up. Yeah, only one. Let me tell you the best way to eat candy corn. Though, only one lie. I'm not a personal fan of it, but if you're gonna eat it, the best way to eat it is what you do is you get a big bowl and you pour all your candy corn in that bowl, and you find the nearest trash can and you dump that shit in that trash can. Wash the bowl and put it up, because that shit is terrible. It's the worst shit ever. But with that being said, I appreciate each and every one of y'all. I thank y'all for showing up this evening. We'll be back at it tomorrow. No more World Series. So yeah, we're gonna be back at it. Well, about boxing is something I thought about. I haven't seen any boxing gyms in the area though. But like I say, boxing is something I definitely consider. Boxing, like I say, some type of martial art, something like that. Just like I say, you need to have altercations. I think they're good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that was the best. That's when they was the best. When it was the fucking Diaz is still gonna fight, because I thought Diaz was pulling out the fight or some shit like that, because they had some whole ass shit about him positive on a test or some shit like that. You know what I mean? I have no idea. But no, it's still on? Okay, cool. All right, well that's a bet. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta drop your nuts, you know what I'm saying? All right, let me get out of here. I fucks with y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a wonderful evening. I'm looking forward to seeing y'all tomorrow already. And like I said, I'm gonna try to drop some. I'm really trying to get on some of this recorded content, because I know that's the stuff we need. But with that being said, I appreciate each and every one of you. It is an honor, a privilege, and a pleasure to get to chop it up with y'all each and every night, especially when I show up. But with that being said, y'all ain't got to go home. Y'all should already be home. It's late as shit. But y'all got to get the fuck up out of here. I'm gone.